Hello and welcome to Chinese Novel Audiobook. Explore our playlist for more captivating novels, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a new audiobook. Now, let's dive into today's story. Chapter 41 Human beings are also worthy of immortality. Bayan Village. Zhao Shi's home. Under Ding Jiayu's guidance, Zhao Shi's obsession with cultivating immortals has fallen into a demon. In front of him, his son Zhao Gaosheng was tied up, and a piece of cloth was stuffed into his mouth so that he could only whimper. In Zhao Shi's entire family, only Zhao Gaosheng was with him. He got a son when he was old, but his wife died of dystocia. In Zhao Shi's eyes, the love he had for his son in the past was gone, and upon closer inspection, there was only hysterical madness. Shenger, I raised you so much, it's time for you to be filial to me. Don't worry, after embarking on the ferry road, you and my father and son will be by our side. Zhao Gaosheng was trembling with fear, he had never seen his father like this. In the past, his father was his sky, but now the sky not only collapsed, but also crushed him to death. Even though he was tied to a pillar, the great fear made him tremble uncontrollably. He wanted to struggle, and he wanted his father to stop. But he couldn't move at all. Only his head could move, he shook his head frantically, begging his father to stop. He didn't know what his father was going to do. Facing his current father, he felt extremely scared. Zhao Shi has no intention of stopping at all. Shangxian, come on, I'm ready. Zhao Shi's eyes were crazy, and he looked at Ding Jiayu with enthusiasm. Yes. Ding Jiayu was very satisfied. Stand here, don't move, I want to spread blood. Zhao Shi was obedient and did not move. Ding Jiayu began to arrange. Various materials were taken out by him with a wave of his hand. Soon the whole room was filled with ink lines. The black and red ink lines were drawn around the two by Ding Jiayu with a wave of his hand. A strange aura filled the room. Of the two opposites, one is struggling wildly, while the other is waiting calmly. The black breath spread at an accelerated rate, and soon became stronger and stronger, rushing out of the room. Ding Jiayu didn't care about this. In Immortal Village, there are a few high-quality warriors. Even if they are discovered, it can only speed up the process of them becoming nourishment. Only Su Yang, who was hanging high in the air, kept paying attention to Ding Jiayu's situation. When there was a strange black air in this house, he knew something was wrong. Su Yang quickly fell from the sky and came to the top of the house. Gently remove a tile on the top with sword intent. The scene inside came into view. Black and red ink lines, with strange tadpole patterns all over the house. There are 3 people in the house. 2 people stand opposite each other, one of them is tied to a post involuntarily. The Taoist priest kept gesticulating on the sidelines, and as he continued gesturing, the black air in the room became more and more intense. What is this doing? Su Yang doesn't know, but it's definitely not a good thing. In the room, Ding Jiayu kept making tricks, and the room was already very dark. Wisps of black air float and rotate, and have become an aura. At this time, Ding Jiayu opened his eyes, put his fingers together, and made another tactic. A drop of black blood appeared on his fingertips. Go! With a wave of Ding Jiayu's hand, he was about to pour this drop of black blood into Zhao Gaosheng's chest. At this moment, Zhao Gaosheng was in despair. Struggled without strength, limp on the pillar like a dead fish, no longer struggling. Just when the black blood was about to hit Zhao Gaosheng's chest, a transparent long sword suddenly appeared in front of Zhao Gaosheng, and the black blood flew away with one blow. Ding Jiayu's complexion changed, and he shouted, "Who dares to ruin this good thing?" On Ding Jiayu's body, a large amount of black air brushed out, and the black skulls patrolled quickly, and stared at the roof in the next moment. Before the opponent could make a move, Su Yang had already fallen from the sky. Stepping on the transparent long sword, it floated down. Can you tell me what good things you are doing? Su Yang asked curiously. Seeing the person coming, Ding Jiayu calmed down his anger and returned to a smile. Do you want to try the way of becoming an immortal? Ding Jiayu said bluntly. It seems that as long as Su Yang wants to, he can also help Su Yang embark on the immortal journey. The way to become a fairy. Su Yang sighed lightly, and said disdainfully, you can also become a fairy with this cultivation method that uses people as materials. Are you worthy of being called a fairy? Ding Jiayu was not angry either, and said with a smile, There are thousands of ways of immortality, but take only one, refine the corpse to become an immortal, gain longevity, and obtain the Tao. How can you not be called an immortal? For us, mortals are nothing more than ants. If you need it, you can take it, and if you don't need it, you can keep it. Fellow Taoist, you've lost your mind. Ha ha ha, Su Yong laughed and said, what a mortal is like an ant, have you become a fairy yet? No. Ding Jiayu said calmly, but I have already embarked on the fairy road, and I am still very different from ordinary people. Forget it. Su Yong shook his head. It doesn't make sense with a person like you, and it doesn't make sense with a person like you who has committed a lot of crimes. Su Yong originally thought that this person would be an evil cultivator of the blood refining sect, but now it seems that he is not. That's right, how can evil cultivators in the world stop blood refining sects? Su Yong was surrounded by sword intent, so he planned to strike directly. Ding Jiayu felt the horror of the sword intent, and was startled suddenly. Without saying a word, he turned around and ran, and rushed out of the house. Su Yong glanced at the other two people in the room. One person stands still, as if temporarily unconscious. One person was tied up, and I don't know what happened. Thinking about it, let's ignore the two of them for the time being, let's kill that evil cultivator. Build. Su Yong Yujian rushed out like a meteor chasing the moon. In just a short moment, he caught up with Ding Jiayu who had escaped. But Ding Jiayu didn't go far, he just stopped in the center of the village. Fellow Taoist, do you really want to meddle in other people's business? Ding Jiayu asked, his face was already a little more stern. Su Yong didn't say a word, but raised his hand to trigger the sword intent, and the sword intent rushed out of his body, filling the world. The world suddenly changed at this moment, changed by the sword intent. Waving his hand again, the intent of the sword turned into a sword, and slashed towards Ding Jiayu with the momentum of piercing through the air. The moment the sword intent appeared, his complexion changed. So strong. Ding Jiayu said inwardly, his strength has not yet fully recovered, and it is impossible to regret it at this time. Open black lens bracket corpse armor technique corpse replacement close black lens bracket. Ding Jiayu made a formula with both hands, and quickly performed the Taoist technique. When the sword intent cut in front of him, the body of a zombie had been replaced in place. Ding Jiayu fled 100 meters away. He thought to himself, the zombie he refined has a hard body. Although it is only a small thing, it can't be hurt by ordinary third-rank warriors. No one in Tianfeng County can do anything to it, let alone the small village below Tianfeng County. He is very confident in the zombie he refined. Using the power of the stars to refine corpses, not to mention other abilities, the hardness of this body is unparalleled. But just when he was secretly proud, he watched the zombie he refined was cut in half by a sword. That terrifying sword intent had no intention of slowing down at all, which meant that it easily cut his zombie in half. Ding Jiayu blinked, a little in disbelief. This is impossible. Isn't this Tianfeng County? Isn't this a city under the governance of Tianfeng County? Isn't this a small village under the administration of the city under the administration of Tianfeng County? Ding Jiayu's mind is full of question marks. He vaguely remembered that the strongest person in Tianfeng County was only third rank, so he should have been asleep for a year, right? The zombie connected to the mind was cut, and Ding Jiayu was bitten by Taoism, spitting out a mouthful of blood. Su Yong has already found out that what he killed was a zombie. With its ugly appearance and fangs, it is hard not to recognize it. His sword intent covers a radius of 1200 meters, Ding Jiayu is only 100 meters away, how could Su Yong not know? With a wave of one hand, the sword was condensed in the void, and another sword slashed towards Ding Jiayu. Ding Jiayu's soul raged, and when he stepped on his foot, blue light rose up, and 7 blue light spots appeared under his feet, forming the meaning of 7 stars. Open black lens bracket. The 7 stars array is open. Close black lens bracket. In an instant, starlight shot straight into the sky from Ding Jiayu's feet, connecting with the starry sky. At the same time, under Ding Jiayu's feet, there is a vein of stars extending, connecting 100 meters away in the blink of an eye. 7 tombs lined up are infused with the power of the stars. Chapter 42 The Abyss of Desire. Bayan Village. The huge momentum made the people of the whole village wake up one after another. When they saw the outside scene, they were all a little dumbfounded. What happened? Isn't that Ding Shangxian? Who is that opposite him? Don't talk, come back and hide. How can we participate in the battle of the immortals? People in this era don't like to watch the excitement. They prefer to hide and live in peace. Ding Jiayu's move made a lot of noise, and a pillar of starlight appeared here. Su Yong swung a sword at will, but was cancelled by Ding Jiayu with the power of the stars. Not far away, there was a series of explosions. 7 graves were broken open, and 7 figures came to Ding Jiayu's side in a few jumps. The power of the stars in the sky hangs down and is absorbed by the 7 figures. These 7 figures are 7 zombies. Although the momentum is huge, in Su Yang's view, it is just a glimmer. His sword intent can easily crush it. The entire sword intent of LV-21 is emitted. The entire Bayan village was shrouded in it. Su Yang simply raised his hand, compressing the sword intent. The sky changed, and a sword tens of meters long appeared, erected behind Su Yang, which meant to open the sky. The sword then compressed rapidly, and finally only about 3 meters remained. Su Yang didn't seem to be satisfied yet. The huge sword behind him split into dozens of 3-foot swords. Seeing this, Su Yang nodded in satisfaction. Go! With a low shout, dozens of 3-foot swords flew out from behind Su Yang. Shish! The sword intent pierced the air, traveled through the space, and nailed Ding Jiayu in an instant. Ding Jiayu cast a spell again, the power of the stars split up, and slammed into dozens of 3-foot swords. When the attacks of the two sides collided, Ding Jiayu's complexion changed suddenly. Can't stop it. The power of the stars was easily broken. After that, dozens of 3-foot swords were no longer blocked. Ding Jiayu's pupils dilated, and immediately made a tactic, ignoring the evolution of the 7 zombies and letting them stand in front of him. It's a pity that the mantis arm is a car. 7 zombies were dismembered, and the sword intent rushed straight, and dozens of sword intents pierced Ding Jiayu's body. Blood stained the clothes in an instant, and blood also flowed out from the corner of Ding Jiayu's mouth. No, I just recovered. It seems that there is great unwillingness and helplessness. But there is no way to recover. Another sword pierced through the air, easily beheading Ding Jiayu's head. Open black lens bracket will of all beings plus 27 close black lens bracket. With a sword owl's head, the sword intent covering the world returned to Su Yang's body. Without Ding Jiayu, the vision of the stars disappeared suddenly. The night is still the same night. It's just that there are a few more corpses on the ground. Su Yang stepped forward to touch the corpse, and quickly found a storage bag from Ding Jiayu. This thing has a different style from Su Yang, but the function is the same. Apart from this, Ding Jiayu has nothing else on him. I think the good stuff is in the storage bag. At this moment, a woman rushed out of a house near the battlefield. Shanur! Shanur! The woman rushed to one of the 7 zombies, and after seeing the corpse clearly, she burst into tears. Su Yang looked intently, and this person looked familiar. Thinking more carefully, isn't it because he met a woman in the funeral procession on the way to Tianfeng County on the day of the assessment? These 7 zombies, could it be the 7 coffins at that time? Thinking about the location here again, it seems that this is really the case. Su Yang didn't know what to say, he was not good at words. This person is an evil cultivator of the corpse way. He likes to refine the corpses of dead people into zombies. I have already beheaded him. These 7 corpses seem to be his method. The matter has come to this point. These corpses will be burned. I hope you are mentally prepared. After Su Yang finished speaking, regardless of the woman's reaction, there were still 2 people waiting for him to deal with in the room ahead. After he left, villagers came out one after another. Watching the scene, the relatives of the other 6 corpses also discovered this situation. Su Yang returned to the house again. The situation of the 2 people in the house changed. The tadpole lines disappeared with Ding Jiayu's death. Zhao Shi has already untied Zhao Gaosheng's rope, holding Zhao Gaosheng and crying bitterly. My son, my father almost killed you. This Taoist Ding is an evil cultivator, and I was also controlled by him. It's all my fault. It made you worry. Zhao Gaosheng hugged Zhao Shi with heartache. Father, don't say that. You are also controlled, it's not your fault. While speaking, they also saw Su Yang walking in. The 2 bowed down on the spot. Thank you, my lord, for your help. If it weren't for you, our Bayan village would have been destroyed. Su Yang hurriedly got the 2 of them up. It's okay, that evil cultivator has already been beheaded by me. If you find something wrong in the future, please contact Gen Wuxi as soon as possible. Su Yang checked the two of them, and there was nothing wrong. Thinking about this corpse cultivator, he hasn't succeeded yet. That's good too, so as not to cause more trouble. After confirming that there is no problem here, Su Yang continued, who is the village head of this village, you two take me to find it. The corpses outside need to be dealt with, and the village head needs to cooperate. Zhao Shi raised his head and said, my lord, I am the head of this village. Okay. Su Yang nodded. Then come out with me, organize the villagers and let them prepare firewood. Yes. Zhao Shi lowered his head and said honestly. Zhao Shi looked like this, just like everything before, it was only Ding Jiayu who controlled him. And no one knew what was going on. Even Zhao Gaosheng was **** by Ding Jiayu. The two came to the center of the village one after the other. Under Su Yang's order, Zhao Shi asked the villagers to quickly pile up firewood on the open space next to the village. After waiting for a while, Su Yang used his sword intent to pile up all the corpses of the corpse transformation on the firewood, including Ding Jiayu's corpse. Then let Zhao Shi light the fire. Firelight soared into the sky in the dark night, illuminating the entire night. The relatives of the 7 corpses were somewhat reluctant, but they did not dare to stop them. Soon the body was burned, and Su Yang left when the matter was resolved. Bayan village is slowly returning to calm as the night deepens. Everything seems to be over. Hours to midnight. Zhao Shi returned to the burning pit, jumped down without hesitation, and began to search the ground with his hands, as if he wanted to find something. Cultivation. If I want to cultivate immortality, no one can stop me. In his eyes, the madness was gone, and it was replaced by calmness, which was determined to the extreme. It's not impulsive, it's real determination. It is the fire of desire that cannot be extinguished after seeing the prosperity is burning. Wave your hands to attract the stars. The world changes between waving hands. Waving the palm of one's hand is life and death. So will he. Wangshen City. Su Yang has already returned to Junwu Division. After dealing with the corpse cultivator, he has 27 strands of the will of sentient beings in his hands, and he also learned a sword control technique. When the mission in Wangshen City ends tomorrow, I think there will be a certain amount of income. One night passed quickly. On the second day, the 3 companies honestly paid all workers a month's wages in accordance with Su Yang's request. And also promised that wages will never be deducted in the future. This incident came to an end in the carnival of the people in Wangshen City. During the carnival, they also found out that the one who helped them solve this matter was Zhengkeng Inspection Department Sifang Envoy Master Su Yang. Su Yang also received his reward. 12 strands of the will of sentient beings. Open black lens bracket Tianqian sword close black lens bracket. Sword intent. LV21 13,221 Sword moves. Xingwo LV21 Yujian LV21. Will of all beings. 69. Coverage. Pingshan City, Wangshen City, Linjiang City, Kaiyang City. Chapter 43 Wind and Cloud Convergence. Wangshen City. After finishing what he should do, Su Yang rode his red blood horse and set foot on the road back to the county. The sun was shining on Su Yang, and Wangshen City was already behind him. His figure kept pulling away, and Wangshen City slowly disappeared from sight. Finally, the sun shines on Wangshen City. Let Wangshen City, which was originally late, seem to be covered with a layer of vitality. After a period of time, Su Yang returned to the county. The 3 major families in Wangshen City have already bowed their heads. Even if there is anything else, Zhang Beishan can handle it. He does everything by himself, so there is no need for subordinates. Back to the gate of the inspection department, Su Yang saw a stall selling wild fruits. Su Yang got greedy for a while, so he stepped forward. In this regard, Su Yang will never treat himself badly, regardless of his past and present lives. Old man, how do you sell this fruit? The old man looked up and saw that Su Yang was wearing an official uniform, so he hurriedly said, Officer, you can pick whatever you want, just take it if you want to eat. Su Yang's emotions were complicated when he heard the words. This situation is really inevitable in any era. It seems inevitable. Yeah, they're just normal people, what can they do? It's normal to sell me. Is it possible that my official can't even afford fruit? Su Yong pretended to be displeased. The official is joking, so I will come normally. The stall owner apologized. Then Su Yong asked how much he wanted and he started pretending. He selects each one carefully, for fear of getting bad ones. After finishing the calculation, the old man at the stall still stuffed 2 more fruits into the bag. Obviously said to follow the rules, but the boss is still cautious. No matter what era, ordinary people really seem to be powerless. Facing such superiors, they are even more afraid of offending. Su Yong took the mountain fruit, he can't change this situation. This is how ordinary people live. He is just an ordinary person with a little strength. The world is so big, there are so many unjust cases, oppression, and bullying are countless. He never thought that he could change or save the world. All he wanted to do was to solve the injustice he saw. Let him go if he can't see it. Take the mountain fruit and walk into the inspection department. As soon as he joined the inspection department, he bumped into Yi Zhang. This guy looks a bit battered. Brother Yi, what is this? After Yi Zhang heard this voice, the sadness on his face disappeared a lot. Brother Su. It's been a while. Did you go on inspection too? Although Yi Yang's sad expression was restrained, it was still easy to see. Probably. Su Yong nodded. Alas, Yi Zhang complained. Then how did you deal with those families and sects? Those guys don't take me seriously because of their strength and background. If this goes on, I feel like I really have nothing to do with them. Yi Zhang is now the top 2. I thought this official position was very prestigious. Now it seems that it is not the case. In the past, when he was a son-in-law, these families would let him do whatever he did. So he thought it would be easy for these families not to do something. But now, when he really takes action. But found his ridiculous. When he touches the interests of those families and sects, he will be expelled. Give him some face, and want to share his benefits. Those who don't give him face, see off the guests directly. Do it yourself. There are some he can't beat at all, and some he doesn't even dare to offend. He might not be afraid by himself, but there is the Yi family behind him. The trouble he caused himself, he might not be able to handle it. What's the matter with letting the family wipe their ass? So now Yi Zhang has a very headache. Just happened to bump into Su Yong, so he wanted to ask Su Yong how to solve it. What's so annoying about this? Su Yangfeng said calmly. Keep the obedient ones, and destroy the disobedient ones. Yi Zhang. Yi Zhang suddenly felt that he had found the wrong person. Brother Su, I can't compare you to being so fierce, I'd better think of another way. Yi Zhang said helplessly, and then began to think of other ways. Su Yang's method requires sufficient strength and background, or no background and all strength is fine. But if the strength and background are not enough to be unscrupulous, Su Yang's method will not work. Yi Zhang left, thinking of his own way to go. Su Yong went back to his yard and took out Ding Jiayu's storage bag first. Open it up a little, and you can feel the space and items inside. This storage bag is about the same size as his storage ring, and they are all about 3 squares. There are not many things inside, except for some sundries, there are some books, and some bottles and cans. Su Yong looked over one by one. Open black lens bracket blood corpse refining method close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket corpse merger building foundation close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket 7-star array close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket corpse refining close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket spiritual object atlas close black lens bracket. Several exercises are related to refining corpses. Su Yong glanced at them and threw them aside. This thing is useless to him. The last one is somewhat useful. It records how to identify natural treasures, which is not bad. After tidying up, Su Yong found 3 lingxi. According to the record in the Book of Spirit Objects, these 3 pieces are only low-grade spirit stones, used by immortals. After tidying up, there are only so many things. Su Yong didn't really need the resources. After putting them aside, he couldn't wait to return to the courtyard and swing his sword. For him, swinging a sword can increase experience points, and he can upgrade by seeing how far he is. This feeling is really good. In the blink of an eye, another 5 days passed. After 5 days of raising his sword, His sword intent level has reached LV24. After reaching this level, the most intuitive feeling is that his sword intent can cover a radius of 3 kilometers. In just one thought, he can create a scene where 10,000 swords return to the clan. However, the Wanjian Guizhong, which he forcibly produced with his sword intent, is not very powerful. The sword intent is too scattered, so its power is naturally not great. As for what state is his current full-strength shot equivalent to? It is recorded that a strong master has the power to destroy a city. He seems to be fine. It is recorded that a strong master can level a hill. He seems to be fine. It is recorded that a strong master can stop the river for 3 breaths. He seems to be fine. He can open mountains with one sword, cut off streams with one sword, and change the world with one sword. In a word, what the master can do, he can do, and what the master can't do, he can do too. As for whether you can beat the Grand Master, who cares? Not today, but in 2 days. Now his strength is undergoing earth-shaking changes every day. After the past 5 days, there have been some new changes in the county town. The originally quiet county town has welcomed many new faces. Not to mention the sect forces from all sides in Tianfeng County became active, even the surrounding sect forces also came to join in the fun. Xuanshan Temple, Golden Knife Gate, Fire Sword Gate, Chasing Moon Pavilion. The disciples of these 4 sects with masters have all appeared within the scope of Tianfeng County, and several of them are even in the county town. These are only a few sects and forces that are temporarily known, and there may be more sect disciples who have not shown up in secret. These people have only one purpose for coming together. Kill the monks of the blood refining sect, and exchange merit points from Gen Wuxi to exchange for cultivation resources. That's right, that's it. Generally speaking, only members of the Junwu division can obtain merit points. However, in some special circumstances, when it is necessary to use the power of the rivers and lakes, this rule can be changed. For example, the evil cultivator of the blood refining sect, if the knights of the rivers and lakes can catch it, they can directly go to Gen Wuxi to collect merit points, and then exchange them for resources. These sects are not hermit sects. Not only do they need to eat, but they also need resources for cultivation. Having resources to assist in cultivation and not having them are 2 different things. Then it is unrealistic to be the best in the world after decades of retreat in the mountains. Chapter 44 The Sects of All Parties. The restaurant at the gate of the inspection department. Su Yang, Sun Tianpeng, and Yi Zhang sat around a table. As Su Yang speculated, Yi Zhang and Sun Tianpeng have a good relationship, but they have been enemies since childhood. One person is very strong in force, but lacks physical skills. One person is strong in stature, but lacks in force. Under the bickering, no one will obey the other. But the relationship is really good. For a few days, every time Yi Zhang came back, he took the 2 of them to drink and eat, and chatted about the public grievances in the city under his management. Come and go again and again, it can be considered familiar. Although Sun Tianpeng is frivolous, he is still a very good person, righteous and heroic. His frivolity is basically aimed at Yi Zhang, or people who make him look uncomfortable, and it is quite normal to get along with people. In the past few days, several people were talking about how to deal with public grievances and how to stop those who oppress the people. Su Yang just said one word: if he refuses to accept, he will be beaten, and if he is beaten, he will be destroyed. The 2 admired Su Yang's actions, but they disagreed. Even the frivolous Sun Tianpeng would not dare to act like Su Yang. Crazy is one thing, but he's not stupid. Offended so many people, will he still be a fool in the future? Is his family still mixed up? After chatting for a few days, there was no result, so I changed the topic today. That is, Tianfeng County has gradually gathered many sect disciples. So, the disciples of all sects gathered in Tianfeng County are all for resources. After some understanding, Su Yang spoke softly. Not all of them. Sun Tianpeng said in detail. Some of them are for fame and experience. Let's not talk about being famous. I have practiced for more than 10 years, and I can't show it to myself. I must want to come out and make a name for myself. When I get together in the future, I will say a famous nickname. Otherwise, when a bunch of knight-errants gather together, others will have a famous nickname. As soon as they say it, they will know what great things this person has done, which powerful evil cultivator he has killed, and when it is his turn, no one will even give his name. You know, that's embarrassing. At the same time, experience is also very important. I think that guy and I entered the inspection department for experience. To this stage of cultivation, it is useless to practice in closed doors all the time. You must have actual combat and keep fighting. After you have new insights, you can practice in closed doors to make progress. Sun Tianpeng also explained the reason clearly in a few sentences. Su Yong nodded in agreement when he heard the words. That's right. Isn't it just for a name? As for cultivation, he doesn't feel much, and there is no bottleneck in swinging a sword. Recently, Tianfeng County has become more and more uneasy. Yi Zhong raised his glass and took a sip. The evil cultivators of the blood refining sect keep popping up to make troubles, and there are already countless evil cultivators of the blood refining sect gathered in the entire Tianfeng County. The current situation. There are already signs of what happened in Zuliu County 12 years ago. At first, I thought that the blood refining sect had been wiped out, but I didn't expect to make a comeback after 12 years. The higher-ups have issued an order to let Tianfeng County closely monitor the situation in the county, and deal with it as soon as possible when it is found that the evil cultivators of the blood refining sect are found, and at the same time issue Zhonghu orders. It is precisely because of the issuance of the Zhonghu order that these Zhonghu sects gathered in Tianfeng County. Hearing this, Su Yong couldn't help asking curiously, are there a lot of evil cultivators of the blood refining sect in Tianfeng County? Why haven't I heard of it? Yi Zhong explained, it doesn't mean that it's on the surface. Brother Su, you may not have the habit of paying attention to cases. In Tianfeng County, many villages have been brutally murdered, and none of them have been wiped out. There are many such cases. Originally this situation should have been noticed long ago. However, Zhenwuxi has been corrupted, and even such a big case can be ignored, which is really annoying. Speaking of this, Yi Zhong was also a little angry. Following the discovery of the evil cultivator of the blood refining sect in Yang City last time, these cases were dug up for further investigation, and it was probably done by the evil cultivator of the blood refining sect. After Su Yong heard the words, he immediately thought, did such cases happen within the 4 cities he managed? If there are there also evil cultivators of the blood refining sect? It was actually quite easy for him to discover the evil cultivator of the blood refining sect. After all, the evil cultivator had a title in front of him. Unless there is no evil cultivator who has killed ordinary people, it may not be discovered. After the half-month period given to the commanders of the Junwu division has passed, they will have to make a good inspection. By the way, since many of these Zhonghu people are for the merit points of Zhenwuxi. If I let go, willing to pay a higher price to live the evil cultivator of the blood refining sect, do you think it's okay? Su Yong suddenly realized that he still had 30,000 merit points in his hand. Originally, he planned to exchange them for the materials of the 5 poison-quenching medicinal bath recipe later, but now that there are new uses in front of him, he can think about it. This. Yi Zhong didn't understand, so he said, it's not impossible, but the price must exceed the price given by Zhenwuxi. That's not a problem. Su Yong understands that those who die on Zhenwuxi's side can be exchanged for merit points. If he wants to live so hard, the price will increase a lot, and the price will definitely rise. Su Yong immediately decided to study this matter, and it would not be a loss to exchange merit points for the heads of some evil cultivators of the blood refining sect. Brother Su, I said that even if you hate the evil cultivation of the blood refining sect, there is no need to do it. What's the point of using your merit points to offer rewards? It's a bit thankless. Sun Tianpeng couldn't stand it anymore, and bluntly said that something was wrong. In his opinion, Su Yong did this just to vent his anger, and it was completely unnecessary. Su Yong shook his head and said, you don't understand. Su Yong is not easy to explain, he can only pretend to be deep. Sun Tianpeng and Sun Tianpeng stopped talking when they saw this. Everyone has their own way of life. They can persuade them as friends, but they can't cross the line. Come, drink and drink. Sun Tianpeng raised his glass and lifted the topic. After 3 tours of wine and 5 flavors of food, today's gathering is over. After leaving the restaurant, Su Yong came to the old man's fruit stand as usual and bought some wild fruits. I have to say that the berries of this era are really sweet. My lord, Please take it. The old man smiled and handed over the berries, stuffing a few more as usual. Su Yong returned to his courtyard. Continue to swing the sword. By being slightly drunk, Su Yang's movements were a little more graceful than before, and they were no longer so stiff. Sword intent +1, sword intent +1, sword intent +1. In the city, an inn is full of high-ranking people from all walks of life. In addition to the disciples of major sects, some casual cultivators and small sects also gathered together because of Zhonghu order. When there are more people, there will naturally be more conversations. Some bragging is inevitable, saying how powerful I am and how powerful my school is. If this is blown behind closed doors, it won't cause trouble. But in this restaurant, disciples from all sides and sects are gathered, and some words are already inappropriate. Like sweet tofu now and salty tofu now, when two people with different opinions talk about this topic, the dispute has already begun. Snapped. In the lobby of the restaurant, a group of strong men suddenly stood up and looked at a group of warriors with swords. Everyone said that we and other outsiders are like idiots, savage bears, and can be played with easily. I am a disciple of the Iron Body sect, Lu Lei, and I would like to ask you to enlighten me. Lu Lei is 1.9 meters tall and has a very strong body. Standing up, he really feels like a wall, which is extremely oppressive, and so are his companions. In Lu Lei's words, he had already let his 4 juniors surround each other. In the living room of the restaurant, all the quacks looked at this place one after another, feeling satisfied. In the drinking room, you can also watch a good show. So what? I am a disciple of the Fire Sword sect. Zhang Chufeng, you are sure to fight me. Zhang Chufeng looked at Lu Lei jokingly. Iron Body Gate, but a small sect, how can it compare with his Fire Sword Gate? Just because of the difference in sect, they have already overwhelmed the opponent in terms of momentum. If you don't believe me, look at the quacks around you, who is still optimistic about Lu Lei. One after another felt that this matter should end here, and there was no good show to watch. This is fame, this is Zhonghu. What is Zhonghu? He contains many fame, interest, loyalty, face. Subscribe to Chinese Novel Audiobook YouTube channel. Chapter 45 Double the Reward. Inside the restaurant. All parties watched this good show. As long as Lu Lei dare not make a move, soon there will be good stories about Zhang Chufeng, a disciple of the Fire Sword sect, yelling away Lu Lei, a disciple of the Iron Body sect. Of course, this good story is about Zhang Chufeng. When Lu Lei retired, his reputation would be ruined immediately. He could not and would not retreat. Ha ha ha, you want to scare me away just because of this. Lu Lei laughed loudly and sarcastically said, your Huojian sect master is almost here, do you deserve it? Zhang Chufeng's complacent expression paused, and his complexion turned black immediately. A fool is a fool, unable to recognize reality. How dare you? Lu Lei has been practicing Iron Body Kung Fu for more than 10 years. Now he is called trash when he just came out of the mountain. How can this be tolerated? Lu Lei could no longer suppress the anger in his heart, and immediately jumped up, grabbing away with one hand. Zhang Chufeng snorted coldly, drew his sword out of its sheath, picked up the chair he had sat down on and threw it at Lu Lei. Boom! There was a loud explosion, and the chair shattered in response, and was beaten to pieces. Lu Lei pushed forward, but Zhang Chufeng avoided it long ago, and jumped away a few times. Fool, it's not convenient to use it here, come out if you have the ability. Today, if I don't beat you all over the floor, I really take myself seriously after practicing embroidery needles for a few days. After some verbal confrontation, 2 waves of people rushed to the street and started fighting. Pedestrians on the road avoided one after another. Fortunately, in ancient times, the land was vast, and the buildings were not close to each other, otherwise the houses would have been destroyed by them. In the restaurant, some people from the rivers and lakes didn't care about eating, and ran out to watch the excitement. The only boss looked at the overturned desk and chair with distress. This is all his property, so it was destroyed. And the 2 groups of people just now ate and drank a lot. The account has not yet been settled, what should he do? The boss's heart is bleeding, so what can ordinary people like them do? I can only admit that I am unlucky. With the influx of a large number of quacks into the city, this kind of thing happens a lot. Ordinary people are heartbroken and unwilling, but what can they do in the face of these quack monks? At night, Su Yong stopped practicing his sword and was studying the reward. Last time he discovered that the evil cultivation of the blood-refining sect had put the entire Tianfeng County on alert, which was of great strategic significance. Together with the rewards from the inspection department's assessment, he only had 30,000 merit points and a top-grade treasure house order. The rewards released by Junwu Si are as follows. 9th rank Evil Cultivation, 100 merit points, 8th rank 500, 7th rank 1000, 6th rank 3000, 5th rank 6000, 4th rank 10,000, 3rd rank 30,000, 2nd rank 100,000, 1st rank 200,000. This is a reward offered by the imperial court. Su Yong thought about it for a while, and decided without hesitation, as long as the live ones were caught and sent to him, the reward would be doubled according to his cultivation. 30,000 merit points, while supplies last. If this method is feasible, he may harvest the will of a large number of sentient beings later. Just after Su Yong finished studying this matter, a soldier came to inform him that Han Chu was looking for him. After he passed by, he found that he was not the only one coming. Sun Tianpeng, Yi Zhang, and Ding Ziwu were also present. It seems that there is something. Han Chu sat on the top, glanced at several people, and said, after Su Yong discovered the evil cultivators of the blood-refining sect last time, he was able to discover that there are a large number of evil cultivators of the blood-refining sect hiding in Tianfeng County. There have been accidents in a large number of villages. This matter must be handled properly, otherwise Tianfeng County is very likely to become the next Zuliu County. The whereabouts of the evil cultivator of the blood-refining sect are strange, and the higher-ups have sent people down to prepare to guard the major cities, so as not to massacre the cities. But it is still necessary to find out these rats. After guarding the major cities, the court has a slight shortage of manpower. For this reason, we can only launch the Zhonghu Order and organize people from the Zhonghu to find them. With the launch of the Zhonghu Order, new problems have also been introduced. Han Chu paused for a moment, and then said, warriors are already difficult to manage. As a large number of people from the rivers and lakes come out of the mountains and flood into the city, they will act more freely in the city. It is only the common people who suffer losses and are wronged. Some of them can be handled by Junwu Si, but some are a bit difficult. So we need the cooperation of our inspection department to prevent some battles in the city. Following Han Chu's words, several people understood what was going on. After learning about it, Su Yong suggested, Master, although it is necessary to prevent the warriors from fighting in the city, the losses suffered by the common people must be compensated by them. As soon as Su Yong opened his mouth, they were shocked. Let these sect disciples compensate the common people for their losses. This was something that had never happened before. It would be good if they were obedient and did not continue to use force. Han Chu's eyes flashed brightly. The more he looked at Su Yong, the more satisfied he became. He was originally a general of the frontier army, and he joined the army with the intention of protecting the people. Su Yang's move suits his taste very much. What you said is good, but facing these sects, sometimes the imperial court can't make a move. They don't give the money, so it's not easy to ask for it. Daxia is in great shape, but Daxia also faces many internal and external troubles, no matter how much he offends the sect. 1 or 2 is fine, but Su Yong obviously didn't want to target 1 or 2. In any case, the current situation faced by the imperial court will definitely not support Su Yong to do so. Su Yong thought for a while and said, every time these sect disciples fight, don't they report their respective sects and identities? Let people write it down first, and register the losses of the common people at the same time. I'll figure out a way later. Zhonghu. Su Yong doesn't know what Zhonghu is. He only knows that people's lives are not easy. Warriors don't care about people's losses when they fight, and they don't pay compensation afterwards. How is that different from fighting with bums? Han Chu suddenly found it interesting. Although I don't know what you plan to do, I agree with your idea. Next, I will inform Junwu Division and let them be responsible for the registration. After some discussion, for the next period of time, Su Yong and the others should not act rashly for the time being. The main purpose is to manage the law and order in the county. All decisions will be made after the location of the blood refining sect is locked. After confirming the steps, Han Chu asked them to go down and execute them. Su Yong took the initiative to stay. My lord, I would like to ask you for a favor. Han Chu smiled and said, what's the matter? Su Yong smiled and said, I would like to ask you to offer a reward. Then Su Yong revealed his reward plan. Han Chu frowned after hearing this, but he didn't say much, and agreed. Su Yong has already approached him, which means that he has thought about this matter carefully. Actually, Su Yong can do this by himself, but it seems a little informal and inappropriate. It would be more appropriate for Han Chu to issue a reward in the capacity of the imperial court. Everything is done. In a blink of an eye, the next day came. Early the next morning, 2 more notices were posted in the city. Open black lens bracket reward. Catch the evil cultivator of the blood refining sect alive and send it to the inspection department. The merit points will be doubled, only 30,000 merit points, and the deadline will be received. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket decree. Martial artists are strictly prohibited from using force in the city. Damaged items will be compensated according to the price, and those who injure others will be imprisoned. Close black lens bracket. The 2 notices spread throughout the county, and all the quacks who came in knew about it. Basically, all the quacks focus on offering rewards. Some people even packed up quickly and prepared to look for the evil cultivators of the blood refining sect. After all, there were only 30,000 merit points. As for the use of force is strictly prohibited in the city, did they use force? Even if there are, so what, as long as they don't kill people, what else can the court do to them? Sect disciples with backgrounds don't care too much at all. Only some casual repairs were recorded. This can be regarded as the tragedy of casual cultivators. Without a backer, they dare not act recklessly. Chapter 46 Come back, stand still. Linjiang City. Where's the inspection department you're talking about? How long has it been, and why haven't you seen him? Chu Sen sat opposite Qin Lei and sneered. Qin Lei didn't mind either, and calmly said, the time has not come yet. I advise you to think carefully about what I said while there is still time. Hee hee. Chu Sen sneered and said, impossible, do you know how much this money is? According to what you said, after careful calculation, it is conservatively estimated that my shaman will have an extra 3,000 taels of silver every month. As high as 30,000 taels a year, do you think it might be charged at the normal price? Now they give snake farmers very black money, and each snake only gives 1/50th of its own value. Only in this way can they ensure that their shaman disciples have sufficient resources for cultivation, and they don't have to think of ways to make money. After tasting this kind of sweetness, how could they buy snakes at a high price? Qin Lei shook his head and said, it's up to you. Anyway, there are still 5 days. I will report the matter here, whether it is in charge of the inspection department or not. I don't want my benefits, and I can't help. What are you? Chu Sen frowned. Qin Lei is a very greedy person, and his behavior is really abnormal now. Can be purchased at the normal price. Impossible. In the past, when they didn't use such black-hearted means, they didn't have much cultivation resources in the snake sect, and they had to kill each other for a little cultivation resources. Wanting more cultivation resources, they even went to the Beiduan Mountains to hunt and kill monsters in exchange for money and more resources. The Beiduan Mountains are extremely dangerous. While hunting monsters, they themselves become the prey of monsters. Naturally, a large number of shaman disciples died in the Beiduan Mountains. Later, they came up with a method of raising snakes. It was too troublesome to raise them by themselves, so they started to let the common people raise them. People are willing to hear that they are rich. They obtained cultivation resources at a lower cost. In the beginning, they also paid the normal price, which was about 5 taels of silver for a snake. But later, the snake sect continued to develop, the strength of the disciples in the sect became stronger and stronger, and the strength of the sect master became stronger and stronger, so more snake gall and snake venom were needed for cultivation. The people can raise more, but they don't have enough money in their hands. So, someone thought of reducing the price. Slowly lower the price from 5 taels of silver to 50 cents a piece. The purchase price has dropped from 5,000 yuan to 50 yuan. When the risks and benefits are not proportional, the people are of course unwilling. Don't want to. Shemin also thought of a way to unite with Zhen Wuxi and the county magistrate, and then issue mandatory tasks, how many breeding tasks each household must complete. The disciples of the snake sect will come to the door if they fail to finish, and give them a severe beating. In a word, if you don't want to raise, you have to raise it, and if you don't raise it, you beat it. Slowly, the current situation of Linjiang City was created. The people complained a lot, but no one stood up for them. County City. After the announcement was made, the military commanders in the counties and towns moved into action, standing guard in various streets. If there is a fight, they will stop it immediately. Despite this, there are still many battles among the monks of the rivers and lakes. When a battle begins, no one is defeated, and it is difficult to stop. Especially the disciples of sects, if they are bullied by the opponent today, they can call someone to beat them back tomorrow. Come and go, how can it not be chaotic? Su Yong took Zhen Wuxi to guard the street. Not long after the start, there was a sound of fighting from the direction of an inn. When Su Yong passed by, he saw two groups of people fighting fiercely together. 6 people on one side, a total of 12 people, fighting very fiercely. It can be learned from the conversation among the onlookers. These two parties are Ziyuman disciples and Qingyangmen disciples respectively. The two sects already had enmity, and they started fighting after a few words of verbal quarrel when they met today. During the intense period, most of the tables and chairs in the inn were destroyed. Tap tat tat. Stop. Accompanied by the sound of footsteps, the soldiers of Zhen Wuxi left the street and shouted loudly. With Zhen Wuxi intervening, this battle came to an end. Both sides are not convinced, staring at each other with the momentum of vowing not to give up. I'll let you go today, and I'll cut you all under the sword in the future. In Ziyuman, someone let go of his harsh words. If Zhen Wuxi hadn't stopped me, I would have hacked you chickens and dogs to death today. Not to be outdone, Qingyangmen responded with harsh words. After the two parties finished speaking harshly, they wanted to take people away. Stop. A voice suddenly appeared, making both sides stop. Chi-Chi looked in the direction of the sound. I saw a man walking out of the Junwu Division's army soldiers. He was handsome and young, but his bearing was very extraordinary. Su Yong looked at the two groups of people, and said coldly, everyone makes this place like this, do you want to leave now? In Ziyu Gate, Qi Feng stood up and asked, oh. Then what else do you want? What do you want? Su Yong shouted in the direction of the restaurant, the shopkeeper, come out. Soon, a shopkeeper separated from the crowd and walked up to Su Yong respectfully. The young one is the shopkeeper, I have met adults. The quacks watching the excitement all looked at this scene curiously. What is this court eagle dog trying to do? Calculate how much you lost in the store. Su Yong said. My lord, wait a moment. The shopkeeper immediately understood what Su Yong meant, and acted immediately. Qingyangmen, Meng Heng frowned, didn't know what to do, but didn't want to wait here any longer. Go, ignore this person. After Meng Heng said something, he raised his legs and wanted to leave. The next second, a long sword of artistic conception appeared in front of Meng Heng with a buzzing sound. Easily pressed Meng Heng's neck. Meng Heng froze and didn't dare to move. The cold chill that belonged to the long sword radiated from his neck, and for a while, he felt that his blood flow became extremely slow. Yijing's sword moved away, and gently patted Meng Heng's cheek. It doesn't do much harm, but it's extremely insulting. Meng Heng's face turned red on the spot. Come back and stand still. Su Yong didn't move, just reminded him lightly. Meng Heng blushed, turned to look at Su Yong, who was also extremely young, and his thoughts were overwhelmed. He was ashamed and angry, but compared with the feeling of death, it seemed nothing. When the cold sword intent passed his neck, he really felt like he was going to die. When the strength gap is too huge. No matter how embarrassing and angry, some people only dare to clench their fists, thinking to themselves, 30 years in Hedong, 30 years in Hexi, don't bully the young and poor. Meng Heng is this kind of person. As for why not shout out? Because shouting out may not be 30 years later. The surrounding spectators were also silent for a while, and it took a while before someone couldn't help asking. This blow. Can you see how it came out? This person doesn't seem to be moving. Sword intent. You idiots, can't you see it? What? Doesn't that mean there is no barrier to entering the Grand Master? The most critical thing to step into the Master is the artistic conception. Who is he? The quacks and sect disciples watching the excitement all focused their attention on Su Yong for a moment. Discovering that Su Yangyang is young, Combined with the strength he just showed, he was immediately surprised. During the conversation, no one knew Su Yang's identity and origin, which made everyone even more curious. Meng Heng stayed where he was, not daring to move. Between life and face, he still chose life. Su Yang didn't say any harsh words to him, but just told him not to move. But the more so, the more Meng Heng dared not move. When he went out, the master said that ruthless people don't talk much. Chapter 47 The Story of Doubling. On the street, the scene was a little quiet. The shopkeeper came back soon, and said respectfully, "My lord, about 50 taels of silver were damaged in total." Yes. Su Yang nodded, and then looked at both parties. Losing money, one party 25 taels of silver. Qi Feng, Meng Heng, the corners of their mouths twitched. Boy, are they really losing money. The atmosphere at the scene was strangely quiet, and Su Yang waited quietly on the spot. Under the watchful eyes of everyone, will they pay or not? Lost, ashamed. No compensation. They glanced at Su Yang who was watching them calmly. If Su Yang didn't have the strength, they wouldn't know how to be a bird at all, and left on the spot. But the strength Su Yang showed just now made them dare not do so. Meng Heng was the first to make the decision to pay and leave. Having experienced Su Yang's strength, he is more aware of Su Yang's terror. Seeing this, Qi Feng also chose to pay. He's an idiot if he still doesn't understand the situation. In the end, both of them chose Kongxin. Su Yang took the money with satisfaction and handed it over to the shopkeeper. The shopkeeper didn't expect to get back the money he had lost, and immediately beamed with joy. "Thank you, sir, thank you, sir. My lord, there was also a group of sect disciples making trouble in the shop yesterday." After receiving the silver, the shopkeeper suddenly thought of the group from yesterday. "Do you know the other party's background?" I know, yesterday they all reported to each other. They are Lu Lei from Iron Body Sect and Zhang Chufeng from Fire Sword Sect. How much is lost? Return to the adults, plus the meal fee, about 30 taels. Well, I see, I will give it to you when I come back. Su Yang immediately asked the soldier to write it down. After walking a little farther, Su Yang looked at the soldiers following him and asked, "Do you remember clearly?" Rong Xiaoxi replied, "Remember it clearly, for 30 taels, the iron body gate and the fire sword gate will compensate." Su Yang shook his head and said, "No, that's not how I remembered it." Rong Xiaoxi was a little puzzled. "Do you want us to ask for the next money?" "Yes, my lord. Are we wasting time then?" "Yes, my lord. Then do you know a word, an inch of time, an inch of gold?" "Yes, my lord. Is time money?" "Yes. So, double the note." After Su Yang finished speaking, Rong Xiaoxi realized it on the spot, and crossed out 30 taels with a swipe and changed it to 60 taels. A grown-up is a grown-up, more thoughtful than he thought. What Su Yang did was quickly spread. At the same time, Su Yang's identity was also quickly investigated. Inspection Department Sifang Envoy Su Yang Sipan Shouwei. In just half a day, it spread among the Zhonghu people in the county. What do quacks like best? Fighting and killing, fighting for fame and fortune. Wrong. It is undeniable that many quacks like to fight for fame and fortune. But more people like to brag and gossip. What I like most when drinking is to brag about what I have learned. Talk about where you have been, who you have met, how powerful you are, how brilliant your record is, and compare with some characters. When talking about fierceness, the bragging person may think that he did it. It was nearly noon, and Su Yang also came to the restaurant to rest. In the morning, Su Yang had already dealt with several fights. I have to say, it's really not just talking about being banned by chivalry. Martial arts practitioners are all people full of energy and blood. Everyone has cultivated martial arts with great difficulty. If there is no big gap, how can they admit that they are weak? Whenever there is a few words of quarrel, it is a big fight. Even if two ordinary men, one of them said to the other, "You can't do it, you are a weak chicken," they would probably fight. These younger generation of warriors have worked hard for more than 10 years, and feel that they have learned a lot of skills, so they open their mouths to give advice from time to time. Said that this martial art is not good, this school is not good. It's really frivolous, how can I not get beaten? But having said that, these people are young, and frivolity is their nature. Su Yong was eating on the second floor when he heard someone talking loudly below. I heard that Ziyu sect and Qingyang sect disciples fought in Yunshan restaurant this morning, and they were easily suppressed. Do you know what happened? You don't know this yet. The news is really outdated. At that time, Ziyuman and Qingyangman were fighting in darkness, the sun and the moon were dark, and the entire Yunshan restaurant was beaten to pieces. The scene was extremely infiltrating, and no one dared to step forward to stop it. At this time, an envoy from the quartet in the inspection department, named Su Yang, was about 20 years old, and he was also a younger generation. He arrived with the soldiers of the Junwu division and stopped the fighting. It seems to be nothing, right? Oh, why are you in a hurry? Listen to me slowly. This is not simply to stop the fight. After the two sides stopped, then Su Yang asked the disciples of Ziyu sect and Qingyang sect to pay compensation to Yunshan restaurant. The entire Yunshan restaurant was beaten to pieces, how could they be willing? I wanted to leave on the spot. That Su Yang was immediately displeased, and his sword intent shot up to the sky, and he suppressed the disciples of the two sects in a single thought. The disciples of the two factions paid the money honestly and renovated the Yunshan restaurant. When this person spoke, he also carried various movements, as if he did it, and finally looked at everyone proudly. The crowd of onlookers also listened with great interest. You mean sword intent? So Su Yang really understood the sword intent. In the crowd, one person suddenly became interested and asked. It can be fake, hundreds of pairs of eyes are watching. The speaker was immediately displeased when someone questioned him. And the dilapidated Yunshan restaurant has been restored now. If you don't believe me, go and see for yourself. Interesting. Ji Yushu didn't care about the tone of the other party, he was very happy at this moment. I just don't know if it's enough. Ji Yushu originally planned to have a meal in Tianfeng County before going to the capital. Now he really wants to see this guy named Su Yang. To comprehend the sword intent in this poor place, without some assistance, it is really a genius. The second floor of the restaurant. Su Yang was speechless listening to the nonsense of the quacks below. Why Yunshan restaurant was broken into tatters, why he turned his hand to suppress the disciples of the two sects, and why Yunshan restaurant was refurbished. Fucking bullshit. Su Yang is eating his own food, not paying attention to these things. Time came to the afternoon. As Su Yang continued to suppress the quacks, the disciples of each faction were also much more honest. After purchasing and resting, they left from the county. After all, they came to punish the evil cultivators of the blood refining sect, not to be beaten by Su Yang. So in the afternoon, Su Yang was free again. After relaxing, Su Yang began to swing his sword. There are no venue restrictions for swinging a sword, and there are not many requirements. Being able to swing according to the regulations can increase experience. So, the soldiers following Su Yang also saw Su Yang randomly find an open space to swing his sword. Rong Xiaoxi opened his eyes wide, not understanding what Su Yang meant. Back to basics. That's right, this must be a back to basics sword move. It's normal if I don't see it. Soon, Rong Xiaoxi found the reason, and felt that he was too weak. Even Su Yang couldn't see the way to swing the sword, and almost thought it was the sword swing style that swordsmen needed to practice when they just started. But Mr. Su's sword swing really looks like a sword swing. Chapter 48. Not interested. Under Su Yang's suppression, the troublemakers on the streets under his management quickly disappeared. His strength is too strong, and he can't run away if he is caught. At that time, losing money is a trivial matter, but losing face is a major matter. So after weighing the pros and cons, either set out to arrest the evil cultivator of the blood refining sect, or be honest and restrained. But soon the quacks also discovered something. Although the whole town is guarded by the Zhenwu Sea, only Su Yang guards the position and it is difficult to escape if something happens. In other parts of the county, although there are people guarding them, they are not as strong as Su Yang. Even if they are discovered, it doesn't matter if they are caught face to face. They can't stop the people who want to go to the town of Wuxi. And other places are not like Suyang, they have to lose money. Other positions Zhen Wuxi came forward only to prevent them from fighting. After discovering this fact, the quacks immediately learned to be smart. First lock the range of Su Yang's guard, and then hide far away. In a word, if you can't provoke me, you can't hide from me. Su Yang is so relaxed, he is also happy to be leisured. He prefers to use the time to swing his sword. Although a large number of quacks flooded into other streets, no more intense conflicts broke out. The quacks walked out of their respective gates, and when they arrived at the county town, they just rested. Their main purpose is to kill the evil cultivators of the blood refining sect. So after resting properly, they all followed the clues given by Zhen Wuxi and began to investigate the murders in each village, and went out to hunt down the evil cultivators of the blood refining sect. The number of quacks in the city is rapidly decreasing. In the barren mountains and wild mountains, the number of quacks in remote villages is increasing. Time flies, and a day passes. Under the night, Su Yang, Yi Zhang, and Sun Tianpeng sat together in the restaurant. Ha ha ha. Sun Tianpeng drank a glass of wine and laughed loudly. Brother Su is so bold today, you should be like this man. I've seen those sect disciples upset a long time ago. If it wasn't for my father's express prohibition not to conflict with them, I would have to beat them up. The one thinks that cultivating in the sect is superior to us, and doesn't take us seriously at all. Sun Tianpeng was very angry when he said that, but more of them were helpless. He despises the disciples of the sect, and is displeased with the disciples of the sect who think highly of themselves. But the fact is that the disciples of the sect are nobler than them, and they dare not offend them. If you don't believe me, look at Sun Tianpeng, a frivolous person in the past, but he still acts frivolously in front of the disciples of the sect. It is said that my father expressly prohibits it, but if conflicts with Zongmin disciples will not have too many consequences, will he prohibit it? This is all conceivable things. Some sect disciples may not be as good as Sun Tianpeng, but don't forget the sect behind them. The Zongmin is particularly defensive. If you offend the younger ones, the older ones will come out. If the older ones can't do it, there will be the old ones. They can't afford to provoke them, so they can only endure it. During this day, Sun Tianpeng can be said to have endured very hard. Hearing what Su Yang did, it can be regarded as helping him to vent his anger. The three of them drank and chatted, but they also respected Su Yang invisibly. The reality is like this: when your ability is much stronger than the other party will unconsciously respect you a lot. Brother Su, although you have done this happily, you still have to be careful of the other party's revenge. After a few glasses of wine, Yi Zhang, who was more thoughtful, also opened his mouth to remind. Thank you for the reminder, but since I did this, I have already thought about it, don't worry. Su Yang smiled. This matter cannot be taken lightly. Even if the older generation of these sects do not make a move, but among the younger generation, those who are the number one in the contemporary era have not yet made a move. If they know that their junior is being bullied by you, they will definitely come to trouble you. It's okay to talk about other small sects, but Huojianmen, Jindaomen, Xuanshan Temple, Chasing Moon Pavilion, these four forces still need to pay attention and don't provoke them. Among their contemporary disciples, they have already reached the third rank, and they are qualified to compete for the Qianlong list. Seeing that Su Yang didn't care too much, Sun Tianpeng continued to remind him. He already regards Su Yang as a friend, and he doesn't want anything to happen to Su Yang. Su Yang thought to himself, third grade. Not to mention the third grade, even the ancestors of his sect are useless if they come out of the mountains. That is not called asking the ancestors to come out of the mountain. It is called asking the ancestors to come out to die. But of course Su Yang can't say that. The two of them definitely didn't believe it, they would only think that he was bragging. Then why bother, they will know when it is really done. Speaking of this Qianlong list, I always hear you mention it. Can you talk about it in detail? Brother Su, you still don't know. Yi Zhang was a little surprised. In his opinion, this was just common sense. Seeing that Su Yang does not seem to be a fake, he continued. The Hidden Dragon ranking records that Daxia is under 30 years old, and a genius below the Grandmaster realm can be on the Qianlong ranking. When he enters the first rank as a Grandmaster, he can use the blessing of the national fortune. The higher the ranking, the more the blessing of the national fortune. This is Da Sha, one of the treasures. If you want to be on the list, you must either challenge the people on the list, or go to the location of the Hidden Dragon list to test your strength. If you have enough strength, you can enter the list. Yi Zhang came slowly. What he said is correct, but there is one more point. Sun Tianpeng's eyes showed longing. Being on this list will make you famous all over the world. Stepping into the rivers and lakes, who doesn't want to be famous and powerful, and be admired by everyone? Even Yi Zhang, who was lazy and indifferent to everything in the past, is now yearning for it. Su Yang didn't have two people who were so excited, can they be on the list under the guru state? Then he didn't play this thing. Full of wine and food, the three of them dispersed. Su Yang returned to the courtyard. As soon as I entered the courtyard, I found someone waiting in my courtyard. Old man Ji Yushu, I met my little friend. Ji Yushu stood in place and spoke first. It's not good to enter other people's houses without permission. Su Yang looked calm, and he had already sensed that there were people inside before entering the door. It's true that I heard that my little friend has comprehended sword intent and is quite excited, so don't blame me. Ji Yushu explained, and then said, now it seems that my little friend has a deep understanding of sword intent. I wonder if you would like to learn the way of sword with me. At this time, Ji Yushu had already felt the sword intent pervading Su Yang. He had prepared some tests, but now he just wanted to accept Su Yang quickly. Good guy, just the sword intent randomly permeating the whole body has reached the third level of artistic conception, how about releasing it all? Currently among his disciples in Tianjian Mountain, there are not many who can comprehend the sword intent. Among the younger generation, those who have the deepest understanding of sword intent seem to be at the sixth level of artistic conception. You must know that Tianjian Mountain is the holy place that all sword cultivators yearn for in their hearts. Among the young generation, there was only one sword cultivator with the sixth level of artistic conception. The sword intent casually radiating from Su Yang has a triple artistic conception. Can he not be excited? Cultivate with you? Su Yang asked with a strange look. You mean to worship you as a teacher? That's right. Ji Yushu nodded, looking confident. Not interested. Su Yang said bluntly, he didn't really have a strong talent for practicing swords, and he didn't really need to learn swordsmanship. Why should he find a master for himself if he has nothing to do? Little friend, don't be in a hurry to refuse. I'm a master swordsman, and I'm just one step away from reaching the Grand Master. Ji Yushu looked indifferent. In his opinion, as long as he tells his strength, Su Yang will definitely kowtow and worship. In a small place like Tianfeng County, how could Su Yang have come into contact with an existence of his level? Not interested. Su Yang still said so, although the opponent's strength surprised him, but he was still not interested. Is the Grand Master realm very strong? He wanted to fight against the opponent a little bit. Ji Yushu became anxious all of a sudden, and couldn't maintain that pretentious airy appearance. Little friend, you have to think about it clearly. My cultivation level is not close to that of a Grand Master, and I am backed by Tianjian Mountain. Not interested in. Little friend, you don't know about Tianjian Mountain, right? It's the holy land of sword cultivation in Great Sha. If you follow me, I can immediately take you to Tianjian Mountain to practice. Not interested in. Ji Yushu was a little out of breath. This was the first time he was rejected for giving out various names. Today, you have to recognize it if you recognize it, and you have to recognize it if you don't. Ji Yushu was anxious and planned to tie Su Yang back first. After seeing the strength of Tianjian Mountain, he would definitely change his mind. Oh. Su Yang's eyes became excited. Are you planning to use force? Chapter 49 The Sword Guard. That's not the case. Ji Yushu smiled and shook his head. At this time, he also calmed down, and he did lose his composure just now, but it's not a wise move for you to refuse so cleanly. How about this? How about two tricks? After letting you feel the stronger sword intent, you will make a decision. Ji Yushu felt that Su Yang just hadn't experienced the power of a strong man. Don't know what a guru is. That's why I didn't directly agree. Yes. Su Yang was eager to try. He was looking for a master to practice his hands, to see what level his strength was. It looks like it was delivered to your door. The little friend, be careful. Ji Yushu moved after finishing speaking. His sword intent burst out, covering the entire courtyard, and the terrifying sword intent crushed towards Su Yang like brilliant heavenly power. Momentum and sword intent are integrated. Ji Yushu intends to subdue Su Yang with these 2 points alone. Let Su Yang know what the gap is. Just as Ji Yushu's sword intent was slapping towards Su Yang like a sea wave. Su Yang's sword intent also erupted. Su Yang's sword intent soared into the sky, as vast as a star. If the sword intent released by Ji Yushu is a wave, Su Yang's is the tsunami. Worlds of difference, incomparable. Because he was facing the Grandmaster Realm Sword Cultivator, Su Yang didn't dare to be careless, so he naturally went all out to attack. But this is a big deal. Not only blocked the impact of Ji Yushu's sword intent in an instant, but also sent Ji Yushu flying. After all, he is different from Su Yang, who doesn't know his own strength and measure. Ji Yushu just wanted to catch Su Yang. He has cultivated to this level, so he naturally knows how much effort he needs to use. But the terrifying sword intent emerging from Su Yang's body instantly blinded him. Fly a few meters before stabilizing. It can be seen from Ji Yushu's vibrating pupils. His heart was extremely restless. Sword intent beyond the first level. Only the artistic conception can fight against the master. Is this the third level of sword intent? Ji Yushu was stunned. The artistic conception level is divided into 9 levels. The first floor can directly enter the master. The second floor can directly enter the Grand Master. On the third floor, you can directly enter the astronomical realm. And he is still stuck on the first level of sword intent. But what kind of monster is this young man in front of him? The third level of sword intent, the sect master is only the third layer of sword intent now. Doesn't that mean that in Tianjianmen, only the Supreme Elder can compare with this son? But the Supreme Elder still has a few years to live, and the life of the young man in front of him has just begun. If he can feel the high-level sword intent beside Su Yang from time to time, it will be of great benefit to his comprehension of sword intent. In the Heavenly Sword Gate, it is not so simple to feel the third level of the sword intent of the Gate Master. There is another important point. Usually the formation of sword intent has its own perception. Such as wind, fire, thunder, water. Add your own personality, fiery, quiet, domineering, eloquent, and kill everything. In short, everyone's perception is different, and the sword intent they comprehend is also different. Even if it can enlighten others, if the path of sword intent is different, the help will not be too much, at most it will be enlightening. But just now he felt that the sword intent on Su Yang's body was extremely clean and pure, just like a piece of white paper without any paint on it. If it is given to the sword practitioners, it will make it easier for the sword practitioners to understand the meaning of the sword. Take Tianjian Mountain for example, if there is such a sword stone for disciples to feel the sword intent. Then their disciples who comprehend the sword intent of Tianjian Mountain can increase from 10% to 50%. And if he can comprehend this sword intent for a while every day, he will be able to comprehend the second level of sword intent without going through life and death trials, and thus step into the Grand Master. Thinking of this, Ji Yushu's eyes completely changed, becoming fanatical. At this time, Su Yang was enveloped by sword intent, and he was eager to try, wanting to fight Ji Yushu. It's just that the old boy was lying there motionless after being beaten out by him, his eyes were blurred, and he didn't know what happened. Did he hit the lifeline with one move? Su Yang is a little worried, this old man won't blackmail himself, right? Just when Su Yang was about to step forward to check, Ji Yushu suddenly got up and came to Su Yang. But he didn't speak, which made Su Yang feel a little creepy. What does this old guy want to do? I saw Ji Yushu's chest rising and falling, suppressing his urge to be extremely excited. Even if I have lived for 60 or 70 years, I have seen countless scenes. But before the higher level of the road, he still couldn't stop his excitement. Age, experience, and maturity just mean that you have experienced many first times. When you see the same scene for the second time, you will not be excited. But at this age, Su Yang understands the existence of the third level of sword intent. He is also the first time seeing. Little old man, I want to observe my little friend's sword intent every day, what are the conditions? Just mention it, as long as I can do it, I will never refuse. The way to break through is right in front of you, and Ji Yushu will not miss it. Su Yang. By the way, didn't you let me feel a stronger sword intent? Ji Yushu said without changing his expression, it's the little old man who overestimates my own strength. Don't blame me, my friend. It should be my little friend who made me see a stronger sword intent. Although Ji Yushu's expression didn't change, in fact, the corners of his mouth were almost numb. Before he started, he wanted Su Yong to know what the gap was. Results gap is seen. The gap between him and Su Yong is indeed worlds apart. This sudden reversal caught Su Yong off guard. Su Yong was still reluctant to have such a person by his side all of a sudden, with some resistance in his heart. Seeing the hotness in Ji Yushu's eyes, Su Yong felt a little headache. However, he soon thought of something. It's okay to observe the sword intent for this guy, but it needs to be used a little bit. Now, he is alone, and none of his men can fight. A Grandmaster status is not bad. Well, it's not impossible to observe the sword intent, but you must follow me and listen to my orders. The deadline. How long can you live? Su Yong looked at the other party. This appearance, with gray temples and wrinkled face, belonged to his grandparents. Ji Yushu replied with a smile when he heard the words. Although the little old man is old, after entering the Grand Master realm, his lifespan has increased by 200 years, and now he still has 100 years to live. Su Yang's eyeballs suddenly enlarged. Yes. This is a fantasy world, maybe even a fairy world. Besides, no matter whether you practice martial arts or immortality, you will increase your lifespan, it's just a matter of how much. Although he is not in a hurry about life, he can still pay attention to see if there is any way to solve his own problems. Su Yong is not too worried. With the growth rate of his sword will, it will only be a matter of time to solve this problem. Ji Yushu saw that Su Yong had been silent for a long time, so he took the initiative to say, according to my friend, how about I, little old man, be my friend's sword guard? What is a sword guard? Su Yong didn't quite understand. Yeah, that's what Xiaoyu means. Follow Xiaoyu and listen to Xiaoyu's orders. Ji Yushu explained clearly, and then looked at Su Yong expectantly. That's okay, how long is the deadline? Su Yong decided to accept this guy, so why would he not be willing to get a master level thug so easily? The time limit is usually 10 years. If you feel that it is not enough, you can add more. Ji Yushu is also sincere, and he is not afraid that what he says will be bad for him. Su Yong was also taken aback, is Jianshu so sincere? No need to add more, 10 years is enough. Then I, Ji Yushu, from now on, will be Su Yang's sword protector. I will obey Su Yang's orders for the next 10 years. Except for criminal crimes and things that violate the bottom line, I cannot refuse, otherwise I will be destroyed by the sword. Seeing that Su Yong agreed, Ji Yushu immediately spoke formally. Ha! Su Yong said with a ha-ha. Okay, there is a side sleeper here, if you rest here, you can live there, it's getting late, don't pester me now to talk about comprehending sword intent. Listen to my little friend. Ji Yushu was no longer in a hurry, and smiled to express his understanding. The future is long, and now he has become Su Yang's sword protector, what is he in a hurry for? Su Yong doesn't care about this guy either. Came inexplicably, did some inexplicable things, and finally became his person inexplicably. In fact, how could all this be inexplicable? Everything happens for a reason. If Su Yong hadn't stepped forward to stop the battle between Zhonghu and Zhonghu, hadn't shown his sword will, and wouldn't have been famous, then Ji Yushu would never know him. If Su Yang's sword intent wasn't extremely powerful, then Ji Yushu wouldn't have taken a liking to him at all, and he wouldn't have become a sword protector like he is now. Fame is very important in any era. Fame is a postcard for a person walking outside. There may be a boss who needs you, and you may be a boss in the eyes of others, so someone will take refuge in you. As for how, it depends on what kind of reputation you have. Is the generous superior, or the superior of the search? A talent with outstanding ability, or a lazy person? Fame can attract some people to you. Of course, your reputation cannot be based on rumors, you must really have the ability to match your reputation. Fame is one of the most important parts of one's life. Subscribe to Chinese Novel Audiobook YouTube channel. Chapter 50 at the beginning of Thousands of Swords, from the Great Way to the Simple. One night passed. Early morning. When Su Yong woke up, Ji Yushu was already practicing in the courtyard. I saw Ji Yushu sitting cross-legged on the ground, surrounded by true energy, with his hands combined, holding a blood-colored stone on top. As the true energy washed away, the blood-colored stone continued to shrink. Seeing Su Yong coming out, Ji Yushu also stopped practicing, and put away the **** stone with a wave of his hand. Old Gu, what is this stone of yours? Seeing that the other party stopped practicing, Su Yang also asked proactively. This thing is called a blood spirit stone. Ji Yushu explained. This thing is a subsidiary product of the spirit stone vein. It is polluted by blood energy. Immortal practitioners cannot use it, but we martial practitioners can use it for cultivation. This thing is very precious, and it is something that all martial arts practitioners must strive for. Su Yang understood, then washed up and went out. Ji Yushu also followed behind him. Today, Su Yang went to guard the streets just like yesterday. After arriving at the location, 10 town warriors were already waiting at a fixed location on the street. The street guarded by Su Yang is Lufeng Street. He can stop any warriors fighting, and other streets in the county are guarded by other people. After yesterday's Su Yang rectification, the quacks in the county basically left. With fewer people, disputes will naturally not arise easily. As for these quacks going outside the city to kill them, there is no need for Su Yang to worry about them. Master Su. Rong Xiaoxi said respectfully with his soldiers. Well, it's good to be on duty normally. Su Yang replied. Then he came to his exclusive open space and began to swing the sword daily. At the same time, he also controlled the sword intent around him, letting Ji Yushu observe it. Rong Xiaoxi and others met yesterday, but they are used to it. It was the first time that Ji Yushu saw Su Yang practice curiously. Sword swing. The practice of a genius is different today, how can he practice the sword swing at his level? While thinking about it, Ji Yushu realized it. From the avenue to simplicity, the sword swing style is the foundation of sword repair, but it is also the beginning of 10,000 swords. Any sword move, sword intent, no matter how powerful it is, originates from the sword swing. In an instant, Ji Yushu had a new understanding, and felt that his bottleneck had been loosened a lot. As expected of a genius who comprehends the third level of sword intent. For a moment, Ji Yushu only felt that he had made a lot of money, and the corners of his mouth could not help but rise. Next, he also devoted himself to comprehending the sword intent. This kind of opportunity is very rare, and Su Yang will not waste any time if he can let him observe him. Sit cross-legged on the ground and feel it with your body and mind. Rong Xiaoxi looked at the old man brought by Su Yang from the side, and saw nothing special, but he didn't dare to say more about the old man brought by Su Yang. Just do your own thing and arrange for people to patrol the streets. During the day, nothing happened to Su Yang. However, many things happened outside the county town. When a large number of quacks and court soldiers conducted a thorough investigation of the entire Tianfeng County, the evil cultivator of the blood refining sect hidden deep underground finally emerged. The disciples of the Iron Body sect discovered the evil cultivator base of the blood refining sect in Qingfeng Mountain, and invited all the followers of Zhonghu to go with them. Assemble 100 people to kill them, and the battle with the evil cultivators is imminent. Finally, 43 evil cultivators were killed, 13 were captured alive, and 3 escaped. In this battle, the younger generation of masters showed their prominence for the first time. The contemporary chief disciple of Xuanshan Temple, Monk Huakong, has a third-grade cultivation base, and has cultivated a powerful golden steel palm. The contemporary chief disciple of the Fire Sword sect, Zhang Lai, with a third-rank cultivator, obtained the true inheritance of the Fire Sword sect, one-handed Fire Spirit Sword technique, plus a layer of first-level Fire Spirit Sword intent. He even beheaded a third-rank evil cultivator at the end to seal the victory. Cao Kai, the contemporary chief disciple of the Golden Knife sect, is not weak. He has a third-rank cultivation base, learned the diamond sword technique, and fought fiercely with 2 third-rank evil cultivators. Anti-kill, completely smashing the evil repair line of defense. So far, countless evil cultivators have escaped from the secret passage. The monks in the rivers and lakes pursued and killed them, but they also watched helplessly as 16 people escaped. Not long after, the disciples of Chasing Moon Pavilion returned with 13 heads, among which the head disciple of Chasing Moon Pavilion, Li Qinglan, took 6 of them. You must know that these evil cultivators escaped in different directions, which shows that Li Qinglan is very skilled. Only 3 people escaped in the end. There are hundreds of monks gathered in the rivers and lakes, but in front of the chief disciples of the 4 top sects, they seem to be overshadowed. Even if there are hundreds of people, it is just a foil. In the face of the inheritance of the big sect, these casual cultivators and disciples of the small sect can't make waves at all. According to rumors, after the battle, the chief disciple of the Fire Sword sect approached Lu Lei of the Iron Body sect. Threatened that as long as Lu Lei dared to receive his sword, then Lu Lei would stop offending Huojianmen. Otherwise, Lu Lei would have to admit that Tianmen is rubbish. But in fact, everyone knows it, so why did Lu Lei offend Huojianmen first? But Zhonghu is not a place to reason with you. You bully me, I can't beat you, but if there is no one behind you, then you will be miserable. Because there is someone behind me. This fight is all about worldly wisdom. Lu Lei couldn't bear the humiliation, even if he was at the 4th rank, he stood up and was willing to take Zhong Lai's sword. When Zhong Lai slashed out with a sword, the sword intent and energy became solid, forming sword energy and slashing towards Lu Lei. How can Lu Lei stop it? He was severely injured on the spot. If it wasn't for Xuanshan Temple Huakong who couldn't stand it anymore and stopped him, he was almost cut in half. One after another, as the time came to dusk, it was also passed into Su Yang's ears. Rong Shaoxi and other military soldiers were very excited. Su Yang didn't feel much. He cared about the 13 evil cultivators who were captured alive. This should be sent to him. After all, there is no other use for capturing evil cultivators alive except for him. Sure enough, following the news of the Zhonghu guest's victory in Qingfeng Mountain, he was brought back to the county, and soon Han Chu sent someone to find him. Old Ji Yu, let's go back. Su Yang retracted his sword and called out to Ji Yu Shu. Oh. Good. Ji Yu Shu was already overwhelmed. He originally thought that it would be good to observe the sword intent for a quarter of an hour every day, and even half an hour was not unacceptable. But it turned out to be a whole day. Even the grandson of the Supreme Elder did not receive such treatment. Don't be too cool. There was only one thought in his mind, and he absolutely wanted to hug this thigh tightly. According to this speed, it won't be long before he has a chance to step into the realm of a great master. Back to the inspection department, Su Yang asked Ji Yushu to stay alone while he went to find Han Chu. After the meeting, Han Chu persuaded again. Boy, are you really going to waste your merit points on venting your anger? You regret it now, there is still time. Su Yang was helpless. He knew that Han Chu had good intentions, so he had no choice but to lie and said, My lord, that's not the case. The main thing is that the sword intent I cultivate needs to kill sinful people, like this kind of indiscriminate killing of innocent people, who use people as pills. Xiaxiu, when I slay, I can better comprehend the sword intent. After listening to Su Yang's explanation, Han Chu finally felt normal. Otherwise, he would think that Su Yang has some brain problems. I believe your reason for the time being. Let's go, all the evil cultivators you want will be locked in the cell. Han Chu nodded, and took Su Yang to Junwu Division. On the way, Han Chu also revealed more information to Su Yang. This time the blood refining sect's evil cultivation rebellion is very troublesome. In Qingfeng Mountain, a formation eye of the blood sacrifice formation was discovered. That is to say, the blood refining sect intends to make a blood sacrifice to Tianfeng County. Things have gradually become serious. The high level has sent a Grand Master, and the Grand Masters of the 4 surrounding 3 rate sects are also on their way. This time, Tianfeng County is extremely dangerous. Chapter 51 Shanzong, not Great Sha Shanzong. So, the blood refining sect is for real. Su Yang heard the meaning. If it is just a small group of evil cultivators of the blood refining sect, it will be revealed if the matter is revealed, and they can simply withdraw. Bloodstains are all out, so it must be serious. It's just that the evil cultivator of the blood refining sect is still hiding and hasn't done anything yet. The more so, the more frightening it is. Knowing what the evil cultivator of the blood refining sect is going to do, at least they can find a way to deal with it, but now just exposing a large blood-stained formation has already made them panic, but the evil cultivator of the blood refining sect has not made much movement yet. This can only show that exposing a large array of bloodstains is nothing. The blood refining sect has even more terrifying plans, or maybe they have other plans. No matter what is needed most now is to seize all the evil cultivators of the blood Lianzong. Han Chu said worriedly, even if the blood refining sect is exposed this time, we may not be able to wipe out the blood refining sect. Why? Su Yong was puzzled. Since the blood refining sect had appeared, the imperial court sent strong men to suppress it. Boy, you probably don't pay much attention to the situation in the whole world, do you? Han Chu said helplessly. Su Yong nodded. So far, he has really concentrated on wielding his sword, and he hasn't even managed his subordinates, let alone the world. If you have time to understand, it is better to swing a few more swords. Now the entire Great Shah has entered into turmoil, and the Haitian state next door has fallen into chaos of evil spirits. Kangzhou, Laozhou, and Qingzhou are being cholerate by evil immortals. Leaving aside the border of Daxia, it needs to be guarded. That's the way to go. Although there are no major disturbances in the other 5 prefectures for the time being, there are also many evil cultivators of the blood refining sect like what we encountered in Tianfeng County. Most of the power of the imperial court is sent to suppress the evil spirits, and there is no way to spare more power to take care of this kind of thing. We can only rely on the power of the state to deal with it. We have 9 great masters in Lingshan Prefecture, 5 of them were transferred to Highland Prefecture, 2 were suppressed evil caves, and in the end only 2 were left to be transferred. If there is a need for a great master to suppress the city, then only one can be mobilized. In this way, how can the blood refining sect be destroyed if it has a great master? Compared to evil spirits and evil immortals, the blood refining sect is only a small problem. These are also secondary. The most important thing is that the great Shah martial saints are old and can't do much more, but there are no new martial saints appearing. Otherwise, all these Xiao will die. At the end, Han Chu was also angry. Su Yong fell silent. He didn't expect Shah's situation to be so bad. Whether he was in Pingshan City or Tianfeng County, he didn't feel the aura of disaster. Now it seems that someone resisted in the front to make him feel that Daxia is stable. Where are those sects, Shanzong? As far as he knows, there are many sects in the world, and there are even powerful immortal sects standing high in the sky. Han Chu smiled wryly. Zongman. You can tell by looking at the attitudes of the sects around Tianfeng County. These sects don't scatter eagles if they don't see rabbits. If they want them to take action, they must not only give them great benefits, but also sacrifice them. It's like riding on the neck of the imperial court to ****** and p. Simply put, it's a bit like adding insult to injury. As for Shanzong, how can they look at the mortal world? As long as it is not a catastrophe that destroys the world, and your dynasty falls and changes, how can they care? They are Shanzong, but not Daxia's Shanzong. Yes, they are Shanzong, but not the Shanzong of Daxia. People are not obliged to sell for free, unless they come up with something that Shanzong needs. But Shanzong is connected to the upper realm, and his eyes have long been on the mortal world, so what can Daxia come up with? Walking on the road, both of them fell into silence. Let's go, the cell is here. After a long time, Han Chu spoke calmly. Don't worry, the blood refining sect will be resolved. Su Yong said something, and then stepped into the cell. Han Chu only felt that Su Yong was comforting him, so he smiled and didn't say much. How old is he? Do you still need this brat to comfort him? 13 blood refining sect evil corrections were imprisoned in the cell. Rewarding merit points Junwusi has already paid in advance, Su Yong now only needs to hand in the merit points to Junwusi. When these cultivators of the blood refining sect saw Su Yong coming in, they had different reactions. Some were silent, some were disdainful, and some were begging for mercy, trying to make Su Yong let him go. Su Yong was silent and came to the first cell. Inside, the evil cultivator grinned ferociously and said, "Boy, are you not afraid of death? The thin skin and tender meat are really good nourishment. I really want to ***** you dry." Before the person finished speaking, his head had already moved from his neck. It fell to the ground with a bang. This made the noisy cell instantly quiet. More than a dozen pairs of eyes watched this scene. Su Yong calmly turned and walked out of the first cell, and came to the second cell. Hey, what do you want to do? Xie Shu, who originally looked at Su Yong with disdain, panicked. How could it be like this, coming in without saying a word and beheading people? Then what's the matter with you arresting us? Caught it back and cut it for you. Su Yong has no desire to communicate with them. These evil cultivators have all been abolished. It is impossible to be a good person with a big sin on his head. Going in is killing with one sword. Following the death of the second person, the other evil cultivators in the cell suddenly panicked. Started yelling. But none of them can change their fate. Were beheaded one by Su Yang. Su Yang's light footsteps made the hearts of all the evil cultivators beat faster and faster. Especially the closer you get to them, the faster their heart beats. This sense of despair made them a little familiar. Isn't it exactly the appearance of a living person refined by them? It's just that this time it's their turn. After a while, Su Yang walked out of the cell, and there was no living evil cultivator inside. Open black lens bracket will of all beings plus 7-3 close black lens bracket. The crime level of evil cultivators is generally low. After all, it is easier to catch alive those who are weak. On average, each one is almost LV6. 13 evil cultivators spent 23,000 merit points on Su Yang, leaving only 7,000. Open black lens bracket Tianqian sword close black lens bracket. Sword intent. LV24 23,123 24,000. Sword moves. Xingwo LV24 Yujian LV24. Will of all beings. 136. Coverage. Pingshan City, Wangshen City, Linjiang City, Kaiyang City. Checking the panel, Su Yang plans to swing his sword with all his strength next. At least get LV30, right. Great Grand Master, no matter how you say it, he should be much more powerful. Su Yang secretly set a goal in his heart. Walking out of the cell, it was dusk, and only the setting sun was left like blood-stained sky. When watching the dusk, the mood is different, and the artistic conception is also different. When you are in a good mood, seeing him is a beautiful sight. When the heart is heavy, he will make you heavier. Walking on the street going back, Su Yang quickly returned to the street where the inspection department was located. As a large number of quacks returned with great victories, the county town became noisy again. At this moment, at the entrance of the restaurant where Su Yang, Yi Zhang, and Sun Tianpeng often gather, there are two groups of people confronting each other. Listen to what the monks watching the rivers and lakes say. One side is a disciple of the Fire Sword sect, and the other side is a disciple of the Golden Knife sect. The Battle of Swords and Swords. After the Battle of Qingfengshan, Zhang Lai of the Fire Sword sect and Cao Kai of the Golden Knife sect were brought out for comparison. Some people say that Zhang Lai is powerful because he has long comprehended the sword intent of fire, and he has suppressed 2/3 rank evil cultivators from the very beginning. Some people also say that Cao Kai is powerful, because although Cao Kai only comprehended the Vajra Saber intent today, he took the lead in beheading a 3rd rank evil cultivator. Not only did the two waves of quack monks disobey each other, but the two also disobeyed each other. In a word, who is better can only be known by comparison. It happened that the two sides met by chance, so they were preparing for a battle. The momentum of the two continued to rise, confronting each other, and constantly attacking in the field. 2 years ago, I was defeated by you. Today, you will be defeated by my sword. Cao Kai spoke calmly, not affected by his momentum. Today will only be the same as 2 years ago. Zhang Lai sneered. Dare to fight me outside the city. Why don't you dare? The two of them are as powerful as a rainbow, and they are fighting at the top level of the contemporary young generation in Tianfeng County. The arrogance hit the surrounding quacks, making the blood of those who watched the excitement excited. Zhanghu, when so? The momentum of the two was shocked, and the collision dispersed, and the monks in the surrounding rivers and lakes retreated one after another, not daring to fight hard. Under the impact, the stalls of the surrounding vendors were blown away one after another. Including the old man who Su Yang often buys wild fruit. His booth was also swept away, and he was picking up wild fruits on the ground with a bitter face. He doesn't care about any top contemporary dating. That has nothing to do with him. He only cares about whether the dropped nut can still be sold. How many berries were damaged under the impact? Chapter 52 The number one contemporary person in Tianfeng County. The two people in the field were so proud that they wanted to go out of the city to fight. But just when the momentum of the two reached its peak and the firepower was fully fired, a burst of soaring sword intent burst out, pressing on the two of them with a crushing force. The expressions of the two of them changed drastically, and they secretly thought something was wrong. The momentum gathered on his body was easily crushed like a bubble. In the next moment, the two of them felt a vast sword intent pressing on them, Like a huge stone of 10,000 catties, even more like a mountain. Can't stop it. Can't stop it at all. Plop. Plop. Brother. The faces of the disciples of Huojianmen and Jindaomen changed greatly, and they exclaimed. The two of them fell to their knees at the same time under the pressure of this vast sword intent. No matter how they struggled, they couldn't get rid of this humiliating situation. The moment the crushed one knelt down, the two were ashamed and angry. Who? Is it fun to unleash aura in the city? Su Yong walked out of the crowd with a cold face. Do you think it is very majestic? Su Yong was not in a good mood at all, and he had just figured out who these sects were. Let them take action against the blood-refining sect. Their sect has received benefits from the court. The Zhonghu order is the second level of benefits, taking care of some casual cultivators and small sects who are unable to negotiate terms. Helping the imperial court needs benefits, yes. Very normal thing. After all, everyone can't do things for nothing. But you can't take advantage and still cause damage in the city. Unscrupulous fighting made the people miserable. Taking advantage and not doing things well, Su Yong will not be used to it. Su Yong walked forward step by step. Tell me, isn't it awesome? How about your aura just now? Did I give you too much face, making you think that you don't need to care about the rules? Or do you think you are so strong that you can ignore the rules? Every time Su Yong took a step forward, his sword intent became stronger. When he came in front of the two of them, these two people were so crushed that they couldn't lift their heads up, and the ground under their feet was forced to kneel out of two pits. Facing Su Yang's questioning, they didn't speak, not because they didn't want to, but because they couldn't speak. Can you keep your sword intent in check? There was silence around, there was no sound, and a needle could be heard. Many Zhonghu monks looked at the scene in front of them, their mouths opened wide in shock, speechless. Their brains seemed to be down, and they have lost the function of thinking. What did they see? A young man who was about the same age as Zhong Lai and Cao Kai pushed them to their knees just by virtue of his aura. This is a gap like a chasm. If this person wants to, he can kill two people in an instant. But who are these two people kneeling on the ground? This is not a cat or a dog, but the top of the contemporary youth generation in Tianfeng County. Among the monks watching the rivers and lakes, some people know who Su Yong is, and some don't. But it didn't matter, they just felt their blood boil. So strong. What a strong young man. This kind of blood boiling is the worship, respect, and yearning for the strong. As for kneeling on the ground, Zhong Lai, the fire sword, and Cao Kai, the golden sword, who were worshipped by them just now. Sorry, I am no longer worthy of being worshipped by them. The loser can only be reduced to talk. Stop. The moment the incident happened, two figures rushed out from both sides of the street and came at an extremely fast speed, intending to attack Su Yong and rescue them. It was just that when they rushed halfway, a more powerful and vast sword intent suddenly crushed them. Plop. Plop. Another two figures knelt on the ground. Su Yang's sword intent against Zhong Lai and Cao Kai is less than 10%, and against these two guys, barely 50%. After all, there is still a difference between overwhelming someone with sword intent and directly hacking them to death. Hiss. When they saw the two newly kneeling on the ground clearly, the monks around the rivers and lakes kept sucking in air. The air temperature will be heated up by them. It is true that the identities of the two people who came here are too unusual, but they met them in this way. Fire Sword Gate, First Grade Sword Cultivator, Zhang Qianjun. Golden Knife Gate, First Grade Knife Cultivator, Cao Zifeng. Yipan. There is a world of difference between Zhong Lai and Cao Kai. But now the treatment of these two people is no different from that of the former. Under such circumstances, the impact on many Zhonghu monks is too great. What are the four young generations of Qingfengshan? Put it in front of Su Yong, shit. At this time, the impact of such a scene on everyone was too much for them to digest for a while. Senior, I'm going to realize my mistake, please hold me up. Zhang Qianjun resisted the pressure, and forced himself to say, you don't have to admit your mistake. What kind of arrogance is being released in the city, is it full of food? Zhang Qianjun is also a wonderful person, able to bend and stretch, and when the situation is wrong, he quickly admits his mistake. There is no shame in admitting mistakes to the strong. Following a meal of venting, the depression in Su Yang's heart also eased a lot. Seeing that this person is so knowledgeable, he no longer makes things difficult. Clean up the surrounding stalls, lose money, and apologize to them. Su Yong lost his momentum, and the two nodded repeatedly to express their understanding. Afterwards, the two first-rank masters, just like their grandsons, hurriedly led their disciples to clean up the scattered things around them. While constantly apologizing, this sudden change made these ordinary stall owners flattered and terrified. Repeatedly said nothing. These monks who are usually aloof, turned around and apologized to them, they really never thought about it. The reason for this is all because of the young man standing in the field. All the stall owners couldn't help wondering, who is this person? Only the old man at the Shangguo stall was a little familiar with Su Yong. Right now they don't know, but soon, they will. I don't know now, that's because the previous officials were not worthy to let them know, and they were not worthy to let them take the initiative to understand. There are two kinds of officials that people can remember. Great good, great evil. Su Yong, it should be the former. Soon, those who should lose money will pay, and those who should apologize will also say. Even though Zhang Lai and Cao Kai, who were very high-spirited and mighty, fell silent at this moment, they didn't dare to say a word. When the opponent is a little stronger than you may not accept it. When the opponent is much stronger than you may be convinced, but when you are bullied, you will also use your own means to resist. When the opponent is countless times stronger than you, like a mountain with no end in sight and impossible to climb, you will no longer make a voice of resistance. Senior, is it all right? Zhang Qinshan asked cautiously. No matter how young Su Yong is, he is a senior if he is strong. Spread it to me, whoever dares to continue to make trouble in the city, don't be caught by me. Su Yong glanced at everyone, and then walked to the inspection department. After Su Yong left, everyone finally broke away from the state of not daring to breathe, breathing heavily. As for the fire sword gate and the golden knife gate, they led people away quickly. I lost face to my grandma's house, why don't you leave, and show the monks a joke? It is foreseeable that this scene has been seen by so many people, and what happens here will spread like the wind. After a while of calm, the monks in the field became lively. There is no discussion about Su Yang's identity, age, and strength. Soon, Su Yang's identity and age were revealed. Inspection Department Sifang Envoy Su Yang. Age, 19. Strength, the contemporary number 1 person in Tianfeng County. 1 rank is invincible, it is temporarily unknown whether he will become a master. At the same time, Su Yang's words were also spread throughout the county. If such arrogant words were spoken by a normal quartet envoy, then everyone would just laugh and mock unceremoniously. But the strength that Su Yang just showed will only make all the monks shrink their necks and behave honestly. Huojianmen and Jindaomen were beaten in the face on the spot, and their faces were pressed to the ground and rubbed fiercely. Under such circumstances, who would dare to provoke Su Yang recklessly? In the courtyard, Ji Yushu quietly waited for Su Yang. Old Ji Yu. Su Yang said, do you know about evil spirits and evil immortals? Nature knows. Then tell me about it. Chapter 53 Evil Spirits and Evil Immortals. Let's talk about evil spirits first. Evil spirits are terrifying and incomprehensible. What they like most is to torture people, trap people in a fixed area, keep torturing, and keep making people fearful. These evil spirits seem to use fear to increase their strength, so any place they appear is the beginning of a nightmare in that place. The people there can't run away, they can only watch a person being tortured to death, and finally it's his turn. Some evil spirits may not be strong, but, wanting to kill evil spirits is not based on strength. Every kind of evil spirit must be killed in some special way. If you simply use strength and realm to kill them, they will soon come back to life. For example, some evil spirits are only afraid of flames, and some evil spirits are only afraid of light. Except for killing them with the power they fear, other powers have no effect. They can only delay time and postpone it. All kinds of special evil spirits require all kinds of special powers. Even if some powers are available, they are extremely weak and cannot kill the evil spirits. In this way, when we face some special evil spirits, we have no use for them at all. Method. Ji Yushu said at the end, there was also some helplessness in his eyes, and it seemed that there was some unwillingness in his heart. But he quickly picked up his mood. Evil spirits are basically like this. Evil spirits can appear in every place, but they appear the most in Blackscale State. It seems to be a bit special there. Su Yong also understood that the evil spirits are special. But it seems that his sword moves can be forged according to his ideas. As long as he has enough sentient will, can he forge the sword intent of fire, sword intent of thunder, etc., to defeat all evil spirits. It seems that it is not impossible. Old Gu, how can we determine which evil spirits are afraid of which power? Su Yong asked. Ji Shu took out a palm-sized black stone with mysterious patterns on it and said, "This is called the evil spirit stone, and it can sense what power the evil spirits are afraid of within a radius of 100 meters. A very special thing, accompanied by evil spirits." After some explanations, Su Yong was able to understand the concept of evil spirits. Next is the evil fairy. As for the evil spirits, among the cultivators, there is a special way of cultivation, which is to use the power of mountains and rivers to cultivate. The correct way is to grow and become stronger at the same time as the mountains and rivers. Unfortunately, the cultivators don't seem to have the means to feed back the mountains and rivers. You can only improve yourself. In this case, there will be no problem, just practice slowly. But some guys with impure thoughts thought of destructively absorbing mountains and rivers, the source of rivers, causing mountains and rivers to collapse and rivers to stop flowing. Seriously, it even wiped out the vitality of a place. All of this is just to make them practice faster. This is destroying the world, and it will also cause the people of the place to suffer. Immortal cultivators, it's okay to lose sight of mortals. But they don't treat ordinary people as human beings. When they can do anything to cultivate immortals, they are already considered evil immortals. Fortunately, this is just a small path. The orthodox path of cultivating immortals is still to feed back the world. Ji Shu's explanation made Su Yong understand what an evil spirit is. After asking these two questions, Su Yong went to the courtyard and began to swing his sword. Since it is possible to face the Grand Master next, the level must be raised quickly. Swinging a sword for 12 hours a day is not enough, far from enough. Then add it to 16 hours. It's just that Su Yong can't help complaining in his heart. It is really more dry than the assembly line. Su Yong started to swing the sword, and released the sword intent as promised to Ji Shu. Seeing this, Ji Shu's eyes lit up, and he immediately found a place to start feeling. But after only a while, Ji Shu became extremely confused. In his perception, the strength of Su Yang's sword intent suddenly increased by several %. How can this be? Even if Su Yang is a genius, he can comprehend a deeper level of sword intent by swinging his sword, but how could it increase so much all of a sudden? Ji Shu was confused. Is it because he doesn't understand the world of geniuses? Or, monster. Open black lens bracket sword intent LV10, 3/25,000ths close black lens bracket. Su Yang entered into a quiet state of swinging his sword. The outside world is boiling over because of what Su Yang has done. The title of the contemporary #1 person in Tianfeng County has been thoroughly spread. The faces of Huojianmen and Jindaomen have been swollen. Become the object of discussion. Some people are worried, after all, the two sects have masters, will it be detrimental to Su Yang? He was quickly reprimanded, not to mention how powerful Su Yang is. Just one point, Su Yang is a member of the imperial court, and the masters of the two sects dare not be too presumptuous. No matter how weak the court is, it cannot be provoked by a few masters. Not to mention killing the court officials. Inspection Department, Sifeng Envoy, that is a 6th rank official who has entered the rank. Of course, you can't kill people on the surface, but not necessarily in the dark. There are still various discussions. Tingfeng Building. Little monk, I'm afraid you won't be the #1 person in Tianfeng County. Li Qinglin was dressed in black and sat opposite Wei Kong. Amitabha, monks don't compete for fame and fortune. Wei Kong smiled and spoke calmly. Little monk, don't pretend, you cultivated the glaring Vajra, and you went down the mountain just to beat all the invincible opponents in Tianfeng County and become a Buddha. Li Qinglin disdainfully exposed it. Wei Kong was not angry, and said with a smile, the benefactor knows a lot. You're right, but there's no other way. If you can't beat it, you can't beat it. That evildoer pressed Yipan to the ground with his artistic conception. I don't dare to provoke him. Hey, little monk, that's the right thing, don't be so serious. Li Qinglin chuckled and said, then you can't achieve the Buddha's heart. The benefactor was joking. Wei Kong squinted his eyes and said, it's better not to treat that evildoer as a peer. Okay, little monk, how dare you deceive the Buddha? Amitabha. The almsgiver has given a picture. Monks don't tell lies. Monsters and geniuses are not of the same generation. I believe the Buddha can understand. Quote. Another restaurant. Uncle, let's leave this matter alone. Zhang Lai looked at Zhang Qianjun unwillingly. Don't mention the title of Tianfeng County genius this time. He felt ashamed. Going out in the future, his name may be. Look, that is the kneeling Zhang Lai who was beaten by Su Yang. The more he thought about it, the more unwilling Zhang Lai became. Zhang Qianjun glanced at him. Otherwise. Wait for the suzerain to come over to stand up for you, and go to the inspection department to arrest people. Is it because you don't want to live anymore, so you want to drag Huojianmen to die together? Use your brain, did I kneel without seeing your uncle? We can provoke this evildoer. Zhang Qianjun was a little upset, but seeing Zhang Lai's unwilling face, he still said. Remember, you only have two options in this situation. Either forget it and act as if it never happened. Either endure it and wait for a chance to retaliate. If you want revenge, you only have one chance. If you can't kill this evildoer, then you are dead. If you do it, the situation will be different from today. Don't be stupid, he is not at the same level as us. To put it bluntly, a small grass should not be taller than a big tree, let us. Compared with that Su Yang, they are all small grasses. Zhang Qianjun saw it very thoroughly, and he tried his best to relieve Zhang Lai, not wanting Zhang Lai to end up on the road of no return. The reluctance in Zhang Lai's eyes was slowly dispelling, and he finally sighed, Uncle Master is right. Yes. The grass should not be taller than the big tree. Chapter 54 Astronomical Realm. Inspection Department. Han Chu, who had just returned to his residence, also received a report from his subordinates. Know the great things that Su Yang has done. This kid. Han Chu couldn't help but smiled, but he was also a little shocked by Su Yang's strength. Good guy, suppress Yipan. Isn't that already completely surpassing him? Perhaps it's time for this kid to go to a higher position. The small place of Tianfeng County is not suitable for him. Han Chu thought about it, wrote a letter overnight, and sent it out. 2 days passed in a blink of an eye. Su Yang swung his sword at a high intensity, and he went up 2 levels in 2 days. Now, his strength has reached LV27. With very little rest throughout the day, Su Yang forcibly raised the level that would take 3 or 4 days, and raised it in 2 days. After arriving at LV27, Su Yang felt that his strength had undergone some qualitative changes again. It seems to have come to a whole new level. Currently, the coverage range of his sword intent has increased from 3,000 meters to 10,000 meters. With a radius of 10,000 meters, this is a terrifying statistic. In addition, he felt that he could easily change the sky and stir up the situation with the power of artistic conception. If you want the sky to be cloudy, it will be cloudy, if you want it to be sunny, it will be sunny. Could it be that he directly surpassed the realm of the Great Master and came to the realm of celestial phenomena? Su Yang felt a little outrageous for a while, and had some speculations in his mind, but he had no idea and couldn't be sure. The panel only provides the level, but does not have the function of displaying the state. This is true, which makes Su Yang, who is not rich in experience, a headache. The only thing that can be known is that the higher the level is, the more the sword will be improved, and the faster the strength will increase. It is said that the Great Master can destroy cities and mountains with a little effort. He can do it now with just sword intent. Not to mention the sword moves that fully utilize the sword intent. He felt that if he used his sword move Xingwo with all his strength, he could destroy half of Tianfeng County with 1 move, and Tianfeng County would be gone with 2 moves. Is the sword intent of LV27 already so terrifying? Su Yang was suspicious in his heart, wondering if he felt wrong. Or, Su Yang looked at the well-informed Ji Yushu over there, and asked him a question. Old Ji Yu. No response. Su Yang looked, why did his eyes feel a little empty? What are you thinking? So Su Yang said loudly, Old Ji Yu. Huh. Ji Yushu came back to his senses. At this moment, he was a little numb. In just a few days, he felt that he had never been so excited in his life. He couldn't tell what level the sword intent on Su Yong was at all. It just feels like it's going up. Up. Sword Master, what can I order? It's okay, I just want you to help me see what level my sword intent is, you should be able to see it. This. Ji Yushu smiled wryly, I could see it 2 days ago, but now I can't. Sword Master, the speed at which your sword intent improves is too terrifying. Huh. Su Yong was a little surprised. You can't even see it. Your knowledge should not be so short. Ji Yushu blushed and explained, I really can't see it from the sword intent alone, but if I analyze it from the power, I might be able to see a little bit. So if the sword master wants the old man to analyze it, he must use it. Just use the artistic conception to analyze it, and it is difficult to see if it goes beyond one's own cognition. But the power is still relatively easy to distinguish. However, he has also seen the battle of the monks in the celestial realm. Okay, forget it. Su Yong shook his head, not planning to continue researching this. Since you have to use it to analyze it, it must not work. If he really feels the same as him, he will make a move to Tianfeng County. Good guy, before the blood refining sect started slaughtering the city, he did it with a sword first. The blood refining sect is not as powerful as him. Now he can't continue to practice swords, because the Grand Master sent by Zhoucheng has arrived, and he just sent someone to invite him over. Location Governor's Office. After Su Yong came over, he was taken in by the servants of the mansion. Go to the main hall, there are many people sitting here, all of them are high-level figures in the county. 3 of them looked away when they saw him. That is the backing of the 3 major families that Su Yong solved in Wangshen City before. Originally, they wanted to take revenge on Su Yong. They know Su Yang's identity, but they can't get Su Yong on the surface. But at some point, they can naturally disgust Su Yong. As a result, they haven't waited for the opportunity. I knew that Su Yong showed his supernatural power and rubbed all first-rank warriors on the ground. After the incident happened, they wisely put away their little thoughts. Clean up Su Yong. Who said it? It must not be them. Come on, Su Yong, this is Yi Tianba, Master Yi. Seeing Su Yong coming, Han Chu also called to him, and then introduced him to Su Yong. Su Yong looked at Yi Tianba. He was very sturdy and his body was very strong. His arm alone was like a stone pillar, thicker than Su Yang's thigh. It can be seen that he is a fierce man. I'm going down to Su Yong, I've met Master Yi. Su Yong didn't show off, no matter how powerful he is, now he is the opponent's subordinate, so it doesn't matter to call him a master. Sit. Yi Tianba looked at Su Yong with satisfaction, the things you did a few days ago were good. These sects should be beaten and beaten. I really think that Da Sha has nothing to do with them. Don't worry, if the 2 sects dare to disagree, I will back you up. Yi Tianba spoke very domineeringly. Thank you, my lord. Su Yong cupped his hands in thanks. Since your strength has reached this stage, it would be a waste to stay in the city. Are you interested in going out of the city to search for the evil cultivators of the blood refining sect? Yi Tianba tentatively asked. Of course I'm interested. If your lord doesn't say it, I'll take the initiative to mention it in 3 days. Su Yong continued, but I still need to stay in the city for 3 days. My sword intent comprehension is at a critical moment. 3 days after that, you should leave the city. Su Yong explained his plan. Since you have decided to raise your sword intent to LV30, let's upgrade it first before considering other things. Don't do things here and there. Yi Tianba laughed out loud in satisfaction. Haha, okay, since you have a plan, then let it go. After a short pause, Yi Tianba spoke again. I heard that you can speed up your comprehension of sword intent by killing evil cultivators, but is it true? My lord, yes. Su Yong nodded. He told Han Chu about this, and used it as an excuse before. Okay. Yi Tianba nodded, and continued. Next, I will have people catch the evil cultivators alive for you. I don't know how many can be caught, and you don't want too few by then. Su Yong was startled. What is this? Give him benefits. It seems that Yi Tianba wants to cultivate him. Su Yong reacted quickly. But that's right, at his current age, he has such strength, and he is facing the court, so there is no reason for the court not to cultivate it. Thank you, my lord. Yi Tianba nodded slightly, then faced everyone, and began to arrange for the search of the blood refining sect. The rest of the conversation is basically how to target the blood refining sect. In the past few days, although some blood refining sect strongholds can be found from time to time, but the real lair of the blood refining sect was not found. No one knows what the blood refining sect is doing, but there will definitely be no good things. After Yi Tianba's speech ended, Su Yong immediately returned to his courtyard and swung his sword. His current goal is only one. LV30. Chapter 55 Sword Intent LV30. In the next 3 days, Su Yong stayed in his courtyard wholeheartedly and brandished his sword. During the period, Su Yong would go to the cell to kill a group of evil cultivators every day. These evil cultivators were all given to him by Yi Tianba, and he didn't need to pay more. When you show your ability and value, there will definitely be people above you who will train you. As for showing talent and enjoying the training of the people above, you will naturally face some dangers. For example, the enemies of Yi Tianba and the court, these are unavoidable. Unless you don't enjoy it. This is why geniuses are always in crisis. Some people cultivate you and want you to grow up, but naturally there are also people who are afraid of you growing up. Now the will of all beings in Su Yang's hands has reached 300 strands. There are a lot, and Su Yang already plans to create some more moves in his mind. For example, sword moves that are released to collect information without being noticed. Now that his sword intent is released, although it can sense the situation within a radius of 10,000 meters. But not complete, and in this case, it will be easily discovered. Su Yang plans to wait for sword intent LV30, and build it together with body tempering sword moves. The masters of Fire Sword Sect and Golden Knife Sect came to the inspection department to find Su Yang. It is said that he wanted Su Yang to make amends, but Yi Tianba invited him to drink tea for a while before he even saw Su Yang, and then left. I don't know what to say. Xiaoxiu has become more and more restless in the past 3 days, and all the people in the village have temporarily entered the cities. Those who did not enter the city were basically hunted down by evil cultivators. At the same time, Tianfeng County has been covered with a faint ***** aura. This means that the blood sacrifice formation is about to start. Although the eyes of the blood sacrifice array were found and destroyed in many places, if the eyes of the main array were not found, the blood sacrifice array would still open, it was only a matter of power. If the blood sacrifice formation is activated, the strength of the blood refining sect's evil cultivators will be strengthened, and at the same time, ordinary people in the entire Tianfeng County will enter the countdown to their lives. The final result of being unable to resist the life intake of the blood sacrifice array is to be sucked dry. Fortunately, the approximate range of the blood refining sect's evil cultivator stronghold has been locked. It is hidden in the Beiduan Mountains. At present, there are 4 major and third-rate sects, the quacks who participated in this incident, the master who came down from Zhoucheng, Yi Tianba. They have all reached the Beiduan Mountains and sealed off the entire mountain range. The next step is Suyama. This is a very difficult task. The Beiduan Mountains are huge, and it is very difficult to lock the position of the blood refining sect. But it is not impossible. Since the blood refining sect has set up a large array of blood sacrifices, there is naturally a pulse. A formation master has already arrived, and it will be a matter of time to find the blood refinement sect according to the formation pulse. In order to interfere with the formation master's lock-in position, the evil cultivator of the blood refining sect was also in a hurry, fighting with all kinds of monks in the Beiduan Mountains. Currently, the Beiduan Mountains have become the biggest battlefield. In 3 days, Su Yang ruled Linjiang City, and Kaiyang City also delivered the results of their half-month governance. Linjiang City left a problem: the shaman is oppressing the people. Because of the reason of the 3rd rank, Qinlei can't control it. The results sent by Kaiyang City are very interesting, saying that the problems that can be solved in the near future have been solved, and some remaining problems need long-term governance. But Su Yang looked at the sky of the 2 cities. Linjiang City is not bad, it is indeed governed, and half of the smog covering the sky of Linjiang City has faded away. Only 10% of the white gas dissipated over Kaiyang City. Dare to say that the handling is similar. Su Yang is dissatisfied with this result, but now he has no time to deal with the matters of these 2 cities. After 3 days of high-intensity swinging the sword, his level finally reached LV30 today. During the 3 days, Su Yang can be said to have given up all unnecessary activities. Fortunately, his physique has been strengthened by the boiling blood medicinal bath formula, and he has reached the middle stage of the 9th rank, and he can barely adapt to this high-intensity sword swing. But in order to reach LV30 within 3 days, he challenges his limit every day. Every day he swung nearly 30,000 swords. Nearly 16 hours, leaving just enough sleep. This kind of high intensity also made Ji Yushu discover that Su Yang was cultivating mind rather than body. He was also a little worried that Su Yang would not be able to bear it, but Su Yang's state was obviously not right, and he seemed to have some insight, or an epiphany. The horror of the sword intent promotion has already made Ji Yushu numb. Because Su Yang is always covered with sword intent, let him observe. So every time Su Yang's sword intent suddenly increased, he would know it. Just like that, he watched the sword intent on Su Yang change every day. The speed of ascent made him feel scared. He can't bother. He could only watch Su Yang go crazy like a demon. Fortunately, after 3 days, Su Yang also stopped. With an indomitable momentum, Su Yang swung his last sword. Open black lens bracket sword intent +1, sword intent level +1 close black lens bracket. Sword intent LV30. Closing square bracket. Huh, it's finally over. Su Yang's mind was ethereal, and he felt unprecedentedly relaxed. After reaching this step, Su Yang immediately began to create sword moves. First is body quenching, sword intent quenching body. Shaping gangfeng sword intent, forming body hardening sword moves. Open black lens bracket quenching body gangfeng. Close black lens bracket. Searching sword intent, like a spider web, covering the place, the prey has nowhere to escape, but no one will notice his sword intent. Open black lens bracket invisible spiderweb. Close black lens bracket. The 2 sword moves were created in an instant, and Su Yang also raised Xingwo and Yujian to LV30 by the way. After this, the other party is satisfied. As the sword intent reached LV30, Su Yang felt that the sword intent in his body had reached a terrifying level. A height that made him feel horrible, unprecedented. How to say? Pure sword intent, once released, can cover 50 miles. Using sword moves, there is a feeling that one sword can destroy Tianfeng County. Su Yang said to this, the stronger the better. Su Yang doesn't pay attention to this, first experience the sword move just created, Gangfeng. As Gangfeng unfolded, Su Yang immediately felt a special sword intent begin to swim all over his body. In a very special way, his body is in a strengthened state all the time. This is equivalent to opening a body training buff. Su Yang doesn't need to do anything, just keep the Gangwind sword move. He can improve his physique all the time. This feeling is very cool. Su Yang felt the speed of improvement. It was not very fast, but because of his own control, he could feel his body getting stronger every minute. As for the speed is not fast, wait for the sword intent to improve later, it will naturally become faster. Based on his current promotion speed, it will take at least 3 days to upgrade his physical body to the 8th rank. 1 product for 3 days. It's okay, that's all. Next is the spider web. To create this move, the desired effect is to covertly collect information with sword intent. Release it to perceive other people, so that it will not be perceived by others. The next moment, the vast sword intent rushed out of Su Yang's body. Unfolds, extends in a peculiar way. It is like a huge net, extending from Su Yang as the center point. When the frame is finally fixed, the covering area reaches a radius of hundreds of miles. He can perceive everything within 100 miles. Moving things, non-moving things, and general shapes can all be clearly perceived through the spider web. But it's a pity that the spider web only feels the shape, and cannot see it directly. It would be great if I could directly present the felt form in my mind in the form of a picture. Su Yang tried to communicate with the panel, wanting to strengthen the spider web to achieve the desired effect. I also got feedback that the level is not enough. Need LV50 to meet his requirements. Alright, let's move on. Su Yang opened the panel to check it out. Everything works fine at first. It is the same as before, but when I saw the end, I suddenly found a new function. Good guy, you secretly add new functions without giving a reminder, right? Other panels will ding. Chapter 56 New ability will transformation. Open black lens bracket Tianqian sword close black lens bracket. Sword intent. LV30, 0 thousandths. Sword move. Xingwo, LV30, Royal Sword, LV30, Spider Web, LV30, Gangfeng, LV30. Will of all beings. 228. Coverage area. Qianpeng County. Will transformation. Consuming a wisp of sentient will, can increase the proficiency of sword intent by 100 points. Su Yang opened the panel and was surprised to see the new function at the bottom. The function is good, but this ratio requires more consideration. If it is not necessary, this function is basically not used. Unless he has too many wills to use up. The next step is to eliminate the evil cultivators of the blood refining sect, and it will definitely gain more wills from all living beings. I just don't know how much I can get. Although it can be transformed, the 228 wisps of sentient beings will in his hand are not enough to upgrade him to one level now. The will of all living beings is also conditional to obtain it. If it is not necessary, it is enough to increase the proficiency of sword will by swinging the sword yourself. Now, if he works hard, 30,000 swords a day will not be a problem. As the sword move, Gangfeng continues to temper his body, his physique will become stronger and stronger, and his sword swing speed will also become faster and faster. If there are many wills of sentient beings, they can be stored first, and there may be new changes in the future. However, this can also be used as a whole card. When you need sword moves, you can create sword moves. When you need to upgrade your level, you can also directly upgrade your level. It's like a stored experience package. Good. In an instant, Su Yang's urge to obtain the will of all living beings became stronger. Another point is that the coverage has increased. Now it can cover the entire Tianfeng County. Is this also caused by the level increase? Su Yang is not very clear, but he thinks not. In the past, when the official position rose, the panel would gain more control. But from the very beginning, Su Yang felt that with the panel's ability, it was impossible to be restricted by a dynasty's official position. Could it be that he will have to be an official for the rest of his life? Or can't you be the emperor yourself? So Su Yang has been paying attention to the changes in coverage. As of today, there are finally new changes. Judging from the currently known information, there are two possible causes of this change on the panel. First, level up. Second, the reputation is improved. The first one doesn't need much explanation. His reputation has improved, and his reputation has spread throughout Tianfeng County as he suppressed the two first ranks in a single thought some time ago. The reason why he suppressed the two first ranks and offended the two great master sects was also discovered. Just to help the common people get ahead. That's right, according to the situation at the time, Su Yang was just trying to stand up for the common people. For a while, Su Yang's strength and deeds were spread. Not only people in the Jianghu know it, but also the common people below. Tianfeng County has an official who has people in his heart. During the 3 days, Su Yang was good at wielding a sword at home, but that doesn't mean he didn't know anything. As for which of the two reasons it is, he will naturally know in the future. No need to tangle. Su Yang looked at the world from the perspective of the panel again. Sure enough, he could directly see the sky in Tianfeng County. Not limited to the 4 cities. The sky over Tianfeng County is also covered by white gas. There are more than 10 tasks appearing. One of the biggest tasks is to solve the crisis of the blood refining sect. Open black lens bracket mission. Solve the crisis of the blood refining sect close black lens bracket. Level. LV25. Requirement. Let the blood refining sect disappear in Tianfeng County. Reward. 500 approximately 1,500 wisps of sentient will. This task is the highest level task Su Yang has seen so far. The strength has been improved to the goal set by oneself, and it is time to go out. Beiduan Mountain Range. Su Yang murmured, and looked up into the distance. Old Gu, let's go, it's time to go out. Listen to the sword master. Ji Yushu didn't just want to observe the sword's intent, he was completely convinced these days. Su Yang's strength and potential are beyond his comprehension. Su Yang stepped into the void with one foot, and before it fell, a long sword of artistic conception caught Su Yang's right foot, and then stepped forward with his left foot like climbing a ladder, and stepped on the long sword of artistic conception. Yujian flies, soars into the sky. Ji Yushu can't be so chic, but he can fly with a sword, but he needs a real sword. Taking out the saber from his waist, Ji Yushu stepped on the sword body, and the movement of true energy controlled the long sword to rise into the air and follow Su Yang. The two people flew out of the courtyard, walked in the air, and rushed towards Baidwan mountain range. Such scenes were seen by some people who were close to the inspection department. The old man looked at the sky, his cloudy eyes were a little bright again. Master Su is a sword fairy coming to the world. In the sky, the speed of the two was very fast, but Su Yang did not exert his full strength. It felt like even Ji Yushu couldn't keep up with less than 10% of the sword intent. Mr. Ji Yu, your Grandmaster is a bit weak. When will you be able to break through the Great Grandmaster? In the sky, Su Yang said with a smile. Ji Yushu. If others say this, he must educate the other party. Sword Master, the old man is weaker, but it's okay to help Sword Master with some chores. As for the situation where the Grand Master is not under pressure, it may take some time. Ji Yushu is ashamed. Is the Grand Master realm very weak? Forget it, it depends on who you compare with. By the way, Mr. Ji Yu, what realm is above the celestial realm? Return to the Sword Master, the sky changes the environment, those kind of strong people already have the ability to change the sky. In just a quarter of an hour, the two stepped on the flying sword and came to the outskirts of Baidwan mountain range. 3,000 Wind Wolf troops stationed at the entrances and exits around the periphery. Yi Tianba sits on duty. The four major sects, the small sect, Junwusi, and Zhonghu monks have all entered the mountains. In the mountains, the sound of the battle can be heard from time to time. Yi Tianba looked towards the sky, and when he saw Su Yang and another person coming with a sword, his eyes flashed. The old man is Master Su Yang. And Su Yang's strength, could it be that he has broken through to the level of a master? Then what realm is his master? Su Yang descended from the sky. I have met Mr. Yi. Yi Tianba nodded and looked at Ji Yushu at the same time. Well, who is this? Ji Yushu smiled and said, Old Ji Yushu, the elder of the outer sect of Tianjian Mountain. Yi Tianba's eyes widened a bit. Tianjian Mountain, that is the top sword sect in the Great Sha. No wonder a genius like Su Yang can be cultivated. It turned out to be the elder of Tianjian Mountain, disrespect and disrespect. Yi Tianba said politely first, and then looked at Su Yang. I saw you coming with the sword, could it be that you have broken through the master? Ji Yushu had a strange expression on his face for a while. Thinking of Su Yang's strength growth these days. Grand Master. He, the master limit, was pressed and beaten a few days ago. In the past few days, he felt cold all over his body just by feeling Su Yang's breath. I'm afraid that there will be more than just great masters. Ji Yushu deeply doubts that Su Yang is the reincarnation of the sword immortal. It is rumored that immortal cultivators have the opportunity to reincarnate and rebuild, and Su Yang may not be the same. Otherwise, the strength would not grow like this. Well, that's about it. Su Yang admitted without explaining too much. For things like strength, there is no need to prove how strong he is. Wait for the other party to see it, and they will know it naturally. Good. Yi Tianba was excited. Grand Master. 19-year-old Grand Master. What concept? Putting it in Kyoto is a first-class genius. The most important thing is that he learned about Su Yang's past, and he grew up quickly and suddenly, let alone mentioning it for the time being. Probably because of Tianjian Mountain. The key lies in Su Yang's character. In terms of attitude towards the people, he thinks he is inferior. Such an upright, protector of the people, it is the great fortune of Daxia to grow up. Master Yi, I want to know about the current situation. Now that my strength has also broken through, it's time to find an evil cultivator and practice my hands. Su Yang asked. Subscribe to Chinese Novel Audiobook YouTube channel. Chapter 57 The Hunt Begins. Opening square bracket. Good. The more Yi Tianba looked at Su Yang, the more satisfied he was. At present, it can be confirmed that most of the evil cultivators of the blood refining sect have gathered in the Baidwan Mountains. Even the core of the blood sacrifice array is arranged in this mountain range. But, Yi Tianba paused for a moment, and then said, the current situation is not very good. We have invited the master of the formation, and want to use the formation pulse to track down the location of the blood sacrifice formation. In the mountains, the evil cultivators of the blood refining sect arranged a large number of formations to confuse the public. Each formation corresponds to a stronghold of evil cultivation. Every stronghold is guarded by evil cultivators. In this case, you can't deal with these strongholds, because you don't know whether the core is inside. In this way, our troops can only act separately to clean up the strongholds of evil cultivators. Under the stubborn resistance of the evil cultivators, it may take a lot of time to deal with the evil cultivator strongholds in the entire mountain range. These are secondary. At the end, Yi Tianba was a little worried. What I am most afraid of is that the blood refining sect has a bigger conspiracy. So far, all of this is too abnormal. But we have to follow their arrangements. The current blood refining sect seems to be stalling for time, and the real plan has not yet been revealed. Is that so? Su Yong probably understood, so he said, Master Yi, you stay on guard, I'll go in first and try to get rid of these evil cultivators as quickly as possible. Okay. Yi Tianba nodded and reminded, however, safety must be the top priority. Don't force things you can't handle. Your talent can't be lost here. This token contains the true meaning of my domineering sword. It can be used directly in case of danger, which is comparable to a blow from a great master. Suddenly, I will rush to rescue you as soon as possible. Yi Tianba is worried about Su Yang's safety. This kind of genius cannot fall in front of him. Directly give a good thing that you can press at the bottom of the box. Su Yang blinked, should he accept this thing or not? It doesn't seem to be of much use if you accept it. Not accepting it seems to hurt Yi Tianba a bit. Forget it, take it, and repay it if you have a chance in the future. Anyway, the benefits of killing evil cultivators before are all taken away. Thank you, Mr. Yi. Su Yang cupped his hands in thanks. Yi Tianba saw Su Yang hesitate for a while, and then saw Ji Yushu behind Su Yang. He also reacted. The master is by his side, so it is superfluous for me. On the contrary, it made Master Su Yang a little embarrassed. Yi Tianba looked at the silent Ji Yushu, and immediately realized it. He couldn't help but feel a little annoyed, but there was nothing he could do. Su Yang turned and stepped into the forest. Yi Tianba recovered from the embarrassment. Ji Yushu went in with Su Yang. He was silent because he watched Yi Tianba give Su Yang the token. He hesitated to speak, and finally didn't know what to say. I was thinking, should I persuade the sword master to return a more powerful sword intent token? Grand Master. I don't know how many moves the sword master needs to kill. Su Yang stepped into the Baidwan Mountains and looked at the dense and complex jungle. In the next moment, a vast sword intent emerged from his body, spreading in a very subtle way. From the perspective of God, it is a spider web, from the size of a palm to gradually covering a large forest. In just one thought, the land with a radius of 100 miles entered into Su Yang's perception. In this area, any living creature will be sensed by Su Yang. The cobweb has been covered. Everything in the mountains and forests was within his perception. Whether it's a tiny bug, a tiger, a leopard, or a person hiding in the dark. A lot of information without burdening him. The information is like stored in a database. Su Yang will automatically pop up when he needs it, and store what he doesn't need. For example, Su Yang mainly wants to perceive humanoid creatures, and the information fed back by the spider web is mainly active humanoid creatures. Don't say a word to squeeze all the information into Su Yang's mind. Spider webs covered a radius of hundreds of miles, and all the strongholds of evil cultivators were in his mind. The stronghold of evil cultivators went deep into the mountain, and a group of people gathered together. There was no sign of action, which is easy to distinguish. However, there are also some battlefields, with many figures intertwined, and it is impossible to tell who is the evil cultivator and who is the quack cultivator. Otherwise, he would have passed the Baidwan mountain range with a single blow. Still have to go in. Now these evil cultivators are the prey stuck by the spider web. The hunt begins. Su Yang stepped into the jungle one step at a time, wrapped around his body with sword intent, and flew close to the ground at an extremely fast speed. Ji Yushu followed behind into the forest. In the blink of an eye, their figures disappeared. Hey hey hey. My lord, these quack cultivators seem to be here too, right? In a cave, an evil cultivator looked at a illusion in the cave. Inside, there are traces of monks in the mountains and forests. Look at it this way. The whereabouts of the Zhonghu monks are completely exposed. Li Xing nodded lightly. It's almost time to come, but our main purpose is to hold them back, and wait for the sect master to notify them. Sooner or later, these people will be our blood. Tu Beisheng muttered. I said this is completely unnecessary. With our strength, we can just kill these people directly. With the formation, even Yi Tianba will not be our opponent. Oh. Li Xing glanced at him. Are you good at fighting? Why don't you just go and slaughter the city? Have some brains, the above will naturally have their arrangements. Li Xing spoke completely impolitely. Tu Beisheng shrank his neck. It's better not to provoke this lunatic, he doesn't want to become a blood eater. Your Excellency said so. Seeing Tu Beisheng bowed his head, Li Xing's face softened slightly. However, we can also do something to these quack cultivators. Treat us as prey and get rewards from the court. If you take this reward, you have to pay a price. Kill slowly, torture bit by bit, let them know what a wrong choice it is to participate in this matter. Tu Beisheng grinned when he heard the words. He, I understand. If it wasn't for Li Xing's pressure, he would have been unable to bear it. And he felt that Li Xing was just talking nonsense, and wanted to show off his identity. Killing is killing, and killing slowly. Grandmas. Li Xing, you bastard, I will asterisk you first when I break through to the Grand Master. What kind of asterisk is killing slowly, I'm here. Great Master. He wants to break through the Grand Master. There are so many Zhonghu monks in the mountains and forests, they are all his blood food. The blood of a warrior is much stronger than that of ordinary people. He has already reached the realm of a master, and it is too slow to only absorb the blood of ordinary people. He has already set his target on warriors. Only those who practice blood alchemy at the beginning will feed on the blood of ordinary people. Tu Beisheng grinned a sinister smile, walked slowly to the entrance of the cave, twisted his neck and said harshly. Brothers, it's time to do it. The camera zooms out, and behind Tu Beisheng, there are evil cultivators of the blood refining sect shrouded in blood. Red breath, put a layer of sin on them. In their eyes, there is madness that has been suppressed for a long time. Kill, kill, kill. Chapter 58 Yu Wanjian comes. In the mountains, the Zhonghu monks explored one by one according to the path given by the master of the formation. They also found 5 strongholds of evil cultivators as they wished. Now he is fighting fiercely with evil cultivators. With the 4 major sects and the Wuxi of Lingshan Prefecture as the main force, each force attacks a stronghold of evil cultivators. The Grand Masters of all parties have not made a move yet, and now it is just a battle under the Grand Masters. But even so, every place where there is a war is like a natural disaster. Trees break, mountains collapse, and the earth tears. A warrior above the 3rd rank realm can easily change the environment. Although the battlefield fell into a stalemate for a while. But slowly, the situation changed. A reddish gas appears in the field. As the gas appeared, the evil cultivator who was still at a disadvantage suddenly ran away. One by one, their strength soared, a layer of aura emerged from their bodies, and some hidden evil cultivators also suddenly shot. In the blink of an eye, the monks from all sides fell into a disadvantage. The faces of the 4 great sects and the 5 masters of Junwu division changed. Just when they were about to make a move, several figures blocked their way. Old bald donkey, you are so old, you can't take care of your old age, why do you want to come out to seek death? Tu Beisheng walked out from the shadows, and stopped in front of an old monk with a smile. Amitabha. I advise the benefactor to put down the butcher's knife. At the same time Yuan Jia spoke, his whole breath was mobilized, and his cloudy eyes were fixed on Tu Beisheng. Old guy. Are you kidding me? Why don't you follow Buddha's example and let me train you? Maybe I will put down the butcher knife, ha ha ha. Tu Beisheng reveals the extreme madness, this kind of madness makes people feel shuddering. Laughing loudly, Tu Beisheng drew out the sword behind his back, and the aura seemed to come alive, wrapping around the sword. Wisps of blood-colored aura floated in midair and coiled, as if beating. The scene is extremely weird. Tu Beisheng took a step forward, and killed Yuan Jia in an instant. Yuan Jia raised his hand with a palm. There is the meaning of Vajra on the palm, with a layer of Buddha light attached. Colliding with blood energy, it is more like two natural enemies colliding together. The moment it touched it, there was a sizzling disappearing sound. A powerful shock wave spread out around the two of them. The surrounding flowers and vines were destroyed, and the trees could not bear the breath alone, and large areas collapsed like harvested wheat. Not bad. Ha ha ha, old monk, you are very good. Then show me how good you are. Tu Beisheng was in a state of madness. He drew his knife and then slashed and slashed. One knife after another, open and close, vowing to chop everything in front of you. Bang! 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 The saber intent was attached to the broadsword, and Tu Beisheng's swiping of the saber didn't feel like chopping, it was more like smashing. Yuan Jia's face remained unchanged, but the golden Buddha light on his body became heavier. Facing Tu Beisheng's every cut, he would counteract it with his palm. The two of them fought extremely quietly, and the ground at the center had collapsed. The aftermath completely changes the surrounding environment. A radius of 1 kilometer became a battlefield. One move at a time, if the two moves do not collide. It is extremely terrifying to be able to easily create a 100-meter-long hole. Golden light filled the air, bloody. The movement is so loud that even 10,000 meters away, you can feel the earthquake clearly. Zhonghu monks, monks of Xuanshan Temple, and evil cultivators of the blood Lianzong. Stay far away from the two Grandmaster battlefields. They don't want to be killed by the aftermath. Yuan Jia also took the initiative to lure Tu Beisheng away, and the two stayed away from here. Under the Grandmaster, a scuffle started. The fight started, and there was nothing to say at this time. Every one of the evil cultivators of the blood refining sect is very crazy, with an extremely strong desire to kill. Fortunately, the Zhonghu monks are not weak. If the strength is weaker, the momentum of the evil cultivator alone can overwhelm a large group. Huakong's body was filled with Buddha's light, and he crushed Xiaoxiu fiercely with his Vajra palm. But Xiaoxiu is not stupid, seeing that Huakong is so powerful, he will go to the second rank directly. As soon as the second grade came, Huakong was miserable, and in turn, he was crushed and beaten. Wei Kong is not afraid at all. Even if he is sent flying every time, he is still strong. Didn't even spit out a mouthful of blood. The battle in the arena was fierce. Evil cultivators are extremely rampant, or they are not afraid of death, and their style of play is aggressive and extremely ruthless. Even if you are injured, you will be sprayed with blood all over your face. At first, everyone didn't pay attention to it. It's good to be radical. If you are radical, you will die quickly. But soon everyone realized something was wrong. It's very wrong. Ma Dan, these evil cultivators can recover from injuries. The Zhonghu cultivator instantly knew that it must be the breath in the air. These auras not only strengthen the strength of the evil cultivators, but also help them recover from their injuries. This is very bad for Zhonghu monks. Not only suppressed in strength, but also completely crushed in momentum. Some of the Zhonghu monks have lost their courage. Desperate to the evil cultivator who is strong, not afraid of death, and can recover from injuries. Come. You are not afraid of your coming. The momentum in the field was extremely low, when the master of Xuanshan Temple was fighting fiercely with the master of Shishou. There is a change in the distant sky. A sword intent as vast as a galaxy struck from the outskirts of the mountains. This sword intent is too huge, and it is too obvious after getting close. Let the evil cultivators who are fighting fiercely, and the monks in the rivers and lakes can't help but take a look. Just one glance, everyone's minds have been shocked. What is that? Sword. Endless swords. Like a monstrous wave is advancing, everything it passes is obliterated. In front of the endless sword, there is a person walking forward with the sword. At a glance, what I saw was Yuanjian coming. Who is that? Su Yang. That's Su Yang. When Su Yang got closer, a quack cultivator immediately recognized him. In the past few days, Su Yang has long been the most influential figure in the world of Tianfeng County. Those who have never seen Su Yang have seen Su Yang's portrait. For a while, the Zhonghu monks in the field only resisted and stopped attacking, just to see if it was true or false. Even some first-rank warriors, first-rank monks in Xuanshan Temple, couldn't help but look up to the sky. The battle in the field is a bit like a sudden ceasefire. If the monks of the rivers and lakes are shocking, The evil cultivator of the blood refining sect is timid. Looking at the endless wave of swords, and the person at the forefront of the wave of swords, they felt terrified. When did they see such a scene? The whole process seems to take a long time, but it is actually only 2 seconds. The next moment, a voice resounded. The voice was very faint, but it spread throughout the audience. Wang Jian returns to the clan. Cut. Shish. The sword tide is moving. In midair, Su Yang stood still, and Wang Jian passed by his side. Thousands of swords are fired, rushing towards the battlefield. Covering the entire sky, it is depressing and suffocating. Even if the quack monks knew that these swords would not cut at them, the instinct of fear could not be suppressed. In the blink of an eye, they heard an explosion beside them. They turned their heads to look. The evil cultivator who had fought with them just now died. Nailed to the ground, to a tree, to a mountain. Fourth grade is dead. Third product is dead. The second product is dead. Yippin. Die. Yu Xiaoxiu reacted quickly, and quickly launched a defensive move, blocking his body with ****** true energy. But he couldn't even stop him for a breath. He was blown away by Yijing's long sword in an instant, and then crucified to death. After 10,000 swords passed, there was a dead silence in the arena. The evil cultivator of the blood refining sect is dead, so he can't speak. The quack monk is alive, but he can't speak. The shocking scene made them lose their language function for a moment. It is silent, you can hear the drop of a needle. But that's all. Chapter 59. Everyone, help me touch a corpse. Open black lens bracket the will of all beings plus 1243. Close black lens bracket. In midair, Su Yang felt this feeling. Really good. No wonder Jian Shu's favorite is Wang Jian Guizong. That's really cool. His 10,000 swords return to the sect is not a new sword move. It's just to make the sword intent look like this. The sword intent is transformed into reality, and a little more is the effect. With the assistance of sword moves and spider webs, it can lock on the evil cultivators you see, and you won't kill the wrong people. This move is not very powerful and can only be used to clean up mobs. After all, it is not a sword move learned with the will of all living beings. That's right, the first rank warriors are already at the level of mobs for Su Yang. You said Yippin is very strong. Yes, it is very strong. Compared to Su Yang, it is a slightly bigger ant. One move to destroy the evil cultivators here. Su Yang floated down. At this time, Ji Yushu came out from the mountain. Halfway through the walk, Su Yang told him to walk from the mountain and not to follow behind him. What you say affects how you feel. He didn't understand it at first, but now he understands it. Good guy. Affects the feeling of pretending, doesn't it? Everyone, can you help me collect the spoils? After Su Yang came down, he spoke directly. Let them collect the loot for themselves, that is, touch the corpse. Although it looks a bit out of style. But those who don't even want benefits just to pretend to be cool are definitely stupid. The spoils are all resources. Even if he doesn't use it, he has to keep what belongs to him. And Su Yang is thinking about a problem. Cultivate subordinates. As the area covered by the panel is getting bigger and bigger, it is impossible for him to deal with the world's injustice by himself, and he must have subordinates. The imperial court will indeed give others, but it is not enough. His temporary goal is to train some subordinates. As for becoming emperor, he didn't think about it, and it wasn't necessary. In the future, if the position of emperor is really involved, the other party will make me feel uncomfortable. I don't mind changing to an obedient one. Following Su Yang down, he took the initiative to speak. The people whose hearts were surging like huge waves finally came to their senses from Su Yang's sword fairy demeanor. Wei Kong stepped forward and said, "Thank you for your help, the benefactor. This property is suitable for the benefactor to collect." After Wei Kong finished speaking, he also took the initiative to touch the corpse. Su Yang was a little surprised. Good guy, the monk took the initiative to take the lead. Sure enough, I still can't look at anyone with inherent concepts. As Wei Kong came to his senses first, the rest followed suit. Don't worry, Su Jianxian, we will leave the work of groping the corpse to us. Someone combined with the scene just now, blurted out and called Su Yang a sword fairy. Yes, that's right, if anyone dares to hide their secrets, don't blame me for being rude. In an instant, these quack monks began to take the initiative to help Su Yong touch the corpse. They are not against this kind of thing. I, a quack monk, can't touch a corpse, so I'd better not come out to mess around. Soon, hundreds of corpses of evil cultivators in the arena were looted. I have to say that the search for corpses by Jianghu cultivators is definitely professional. Even the banknotes hidden in the underwear were found. It was true that Su Yong was shocked. Brother, you took these banknotes you found, thank you for your hard work. Thank you, Master Su. This person was about to give the banknote he had found to Su Yong. When he heard Su Yang's reward, he immediately put it in his pocket with joy. Covered by the spider web, he could see the actions of these people. Su Yong is not afraid of their secrets. Soon the work of touching the corpse will be over. The result surprised Su Yong. No one is hiding anything. I saw all the quack monks, with fanatical admiration in their eyes, piling up the collected property in front of Su Yong. Su Yong understood. In this world, the strong are respected. He has just shown such a powerful strength, and he has already convinced these quack monks. Thank you all. Su Yong cupped his hands in thanks. However, Su Yong noticed that some of the evil cultivators were actually beheaded by Jianghu monks, but they still put their property in front of Su Yong. Under the spider's web, he observed this situation clearly. So, of course he won't take what doesn't belong to him. These properties are what you earned from killing the enemy with hard work, and I didn't kill them. Please take care of them. Su Yong controls the sword intent and divides the property into two parts, one of which belongs to the Jianghu monks. After finishing all this, Su Yong waved his hands away and put away all his belongings, then cupped his hands and said, "There are other battlefields in the mountains, everyone, I'll take a step first." A group of Jianghu monks felt very incredible, they did not expect Su Yong to do this. What's more frightening is that Su Yong knows which ones were killed by them and which ones were killed by himself. All of a sudden, the Jianghu monks admired Su Yong even more. In awe of Su Yang's strength. I admire Su Yang's personality. Su Yong left, there is no need to stay here. While these Jianghu monks were touching the corpse, he had already entered the evil cultivator's cave here to check the situation. In the cave, there are human skins all over. They look like ordinary people who have been sucked dry. Seeing this scene, Su Yong became even more disgusted with evil cultivators. In addition to some extremely miserable scenes, there is also a large blood sacrifice node. It looks like an altar, with a mass of ***** gas suspended in the center. This thing only exists as a formation node, which can activate part of the power of the blood sacrifice formation and increase the strength of evil cultivators. It didn't work for Su Yong, a sword intent passed by and easily destroyed. Now that the property collected by the Jianghu monks has been collected, Su Yong is also preparing to leave here. Under the gaze of everyone, Su Yong stepped on the sword and walked in the air, heading towards the Grandmaster battlefield ahead. Master Su is going to the Grandmaster battlefield. Everyone can see the clue at a glance. Nonsense, with Master Su's strength, I think it's easy to deal with Grandmaster. A cultivator from Jianghu looked at the hundreds of evil cultivators who had been wiped out by Su Yong with one move, and the shock in his heart had not subsided. I think Master Su has the demeanor of a sword fairy. If he reached the realm of a master at such a young age, he will surely ascend to a higher realm in the future. It is not an exaggeration to call him a sword fairy now. What do you guys think? Sword Immortal, if you want to officially obtain this title, and if you want people in the world to recognize it, you need at least the heavenly transformation realm cultivation, standing at the top of the mortal martial arts, so that you won't be easily knocked down from the altar. Only then can be recognized as a sword fairy by the world. But in some places, kendo geniuses and kendo masters can also win the reputation of local sword immortals. It is merely an acknowledgement of the limited scope of this title. For example, if you leave Tianfeng County, others may not recognize it. But what does that matter? In the eyes of everyone, how is Su Yang's grace just now different from the sword immortal? Yu Wanjian came, and the shocking demeanor was beyond the imagination of others. That's right, Mr. Su is charming and can be a sword fairy. In the future, maybe my Tianfeng County will produce a well-known sword fairy. Some quack monks were excited. If there is a sword fairy from Tianfeng County, they will walk out straighter in the future. There is no reason, the sword fairy comes from our county. Sword immortal must have a name. Master Su came with 10,000 swords and wiped out the evil cultivators with a wave of his hand. How about calling it the Evil Slayer Sword Immortal? No, it's better to be called Su Jianxian. Tianfeng Sword Immortal. What is the name of our county? Quote. Just as a group of quack monks were chattering nonstop, they noticed that Su Yang had arrived at a high altitude in the distance, where Yuanji of Xuanshan Temple and Tu Beisheng of the blood refining sect were on the battlefield. The battlefield between the two has long been moved to the sky. Otherwise, this evil cultivator stronghold will only be blown up by the aftermath. When Su Yang passed by, he didn't move much. Just swung a sword. The sword crossed the sky and cut towards Tu Beisheng. Tu Beisheng sensed the danger, and immediately slashed with a ***** knife. Half of the sky was soaked in blood. K faced Su Yang with a light swing of his sword, and Tu Beisheng's sky-shattering sword was easily split open. Is split in half. Turned into a substantial artistic conception, the power of the sword is not diminished, and it continues to move forward. Passed by Tu Beisheng. Passed behind him billowing blood. Across the sky white clouds. Nothing can stop the sword's edge. Everything is cut in half. Open black lens bracket will of all beings +3 close black lens bracket. Tu Beisheng died and fell from the sky in two halves. Master Yuanji, whose breath was out of breath, became even more confused when he saw this. He is not feeling well now, being slashed by that lunatic Tu Beisheng. Even if he can cope, there are injuries on his body. Blood soaked his cassock, making it look extremely bright red. Amitabha. After reciting the Buddha's name, Yuanjia calmed down a little. Looking at Su Yang who was flying towards Tu Beisheng's body, his expression was extremely complicated. Buddhism and Taoism do not argue about bullshit. Why not let him practice? Why don't you ask him to come out and kill evil cultivators? He became a master at the age of nearly 70, and now it has been 100 years, but it is difficult to move an inch in the realm of the master. Having practiced for so long, he is no match for a young man who has just debuted. This taste is bitter and bitter. Is Tu Beisheng weak? Yuan Jia looked at the wound on his body. Weak ass. Who dares to say that Tu Beisheng is weak? The poor monk not only pointed at him and scolded him, but also made him taste the powerful Vajra palm. Sin. The Buddha forgives, but the poor monk is upset. Like Wanjian Guizong, it is okay not to add sword moves in front of it, after all, everyone is familiar with it. But some self-created sword moves, should we add prefixes when performing them? For example, sword moves Starfire, sword moves Spider Web. Chapter 60 Kid, you're done. Slay the Grand Master with one sword. How can you not be a sword fairy? This scene was clearly seen by the Zhonghu cultivator. Grand Master. That's the master. A single blow can make a big hole, and a little force can make a 100-meter hole. Fight the Grand Master with a makeover of the surrounding environment. Now die like this. What realm is Su Yang? Grand Master. Astronomical realm. No way, the more I think about it, the more outrageous it becomes. Everyone shook their heads silently, feeling a little dizzy. Sword Master, this is something from the other party. Ji Yushu tactfully helped Su Yang search for the body. A blood-stained sword and a storage bag, everything should be in the storage bag. Storage equipment is still relatively precious in Daxia. It is relatively easy for the master to get one, and it depends on luck under the master. Yes. Su Yang nodded and took it. Then ready to go to the next location. There are still 4 places on the battlefield, distributed in the mountains, let's deal with all of them first. Killing these evil cultivators can obtain the will of all beings, which is of great use to him. Whether you keep it as an experience bag or wait to create sword moves in the future, you need to use it. After packing up the loot, Su Yang went away with his sword again, heading to the next battlefield. In just a few breaths, he came to the next battlefield, which was the Zhen Wuxi team. The master of the town's military division seems to be being beaten. Time moves forward. Mountains, Zhen Wuxi team. This evil cultivator stronghold is also divided into 2 battlefields. One is a battle under the master, and the other is a battle under the master. In the mountains and forests, the screams of killing shook the sky. The evil cultivators, the soldiers of the Junwu division, and the monks of the rivers and lakes fought together. The scene was extremely stalemate. The smell of blood filled this mountain forest. A radius of several thousand meters was affected by the battle. Trees collapsed, dust flew up, and turned into a forest ruins. The battle under the Grand Master was intense. On the contrary, in the sky, the battle between the two masters was not so intense. Lu Jun was in midair, and his condition was not good. There were many small wounds on his body, one by one, all over his body. The wounds were not very big, but they were numerous, and a lot of blood flowed out, soaking through his clothes. Opposite him is an evil cultivator who has cultivated his body skills to the level of a master. Relying on his weird and unpredictable body skills, he continued to injure him. But he couldn't even touch the corner of the other party's clothes. Hey, Chen Ling looked at Lu Jun with a smile in midair. Master Grandmaster, is it fun? You can't seem to keep up with me. As he spoke, Chen Ling's figure disappeared instantly. Lu Jun widened his eyes and immediately defended, but there was still an extra wound on his body. If this continues, Master Grandmaster, you will die. Chen Ling held a dagger and appeared on the other side. The dagger was still stained with Lu Jun's blood. Chen Ling couldn't help but put it to his mouth to lick it. A distorted smile appeared on his face. Weird and ruthless, it looks like a mental illness at first glance. My lord, your blood is so delicious. The perverted behavior made Lu Jun's forehead throb with veins. This feeling is worse than being hurt. Disgusting. But for a while, he couldn't do anything to the other party. If it continues, he may really die. No longer able to find a way to deal with the enemy, he could only retreat. Lu Jun frowned and kept thinking, trying to find out Chen Ling's weakness. If we were talking about weaknesses, Chen Ling's only weakness might be that his moves were not powerful enough to cause any injuries to him, but only minor ones. Chen Ling's movement seems to be an extremely fast way of impact. But the direction of the impact was a straight line, so every time Lu Jun could dodge a little, Chen Ling couldn't injure him, or could only leave him with a small wound. This can be said to be the only good news. Weakness at present, Lu Jun really didn't find any weakness. The blood sacrifice formation node here has been destroyed by him. Originally, he wanted to use the nodes of the blood sacrifice formation to threaten Chen Ling and let the other party face him head on, but Chen Ling didn't accept his trick at all. It doesn't matter whether he destroys the nodes of the blood sacrifice formation or kills those weak evil cultivators. Chen Ling didn't care at all, just killed him casually. On the contrary, it is him who is really restrained. Because Chen Ling killed those members of the Zhenwu Si, Zhonghu monks, he couldn't stop him. The most troublesome thing is that even if he wants to withdraw now, he may not be able to withdraw. Chen Ling had his eyes on him completely. If he wanted to leave, the soldiers of the Zhenwu division and the Zhonghu monks would suffer. This time, it's really troublesome. Lu Jun's complexion is getting darker and uglier. On the other hand, Chen Ling became more and more excited, with a crazy and perverted smile on his face. He enjoys this feeling, enjoys this kind of cat and mouse, playing with the prey bit by bit to death. Watching the prey resist and struggle, there is a little bit of despair in the eyes. This feeling made him mesmerized. He enjoyed this feeling the most since he came into contact with martial arts. So he practiced body skills desperately, even if he didn't touch other martial arts except body skills, it didn't matter. It is precisely because of this perverted persistence that he can grow up quickly and practice the most difficult agility to the level of a master. At this stage, even a great master may not be able to take him. Not to mention the master. When the opponent can't even touch the hem of his clothes, it's the beginning of his feast. Do you know? You are the first Grand Master I have fought against. Chen Ling had a wicked smile on his face. You really excited me, far more interesting than those ordinary people. Those ordinary people can't stop me from stabbing me a few times. Even if I'm lighter or slower, they still can't bear it very quickly. The same is true for warriors with lower strength, there is no way to let me enjoy myself. But today you really made me happy, ha ha ha. I'm really happy. So, hold on a little longer. The corner of Lu Jun's mouth twitched. It was a great shame, he didn't expect that he would be teased like this one day. Calm down, he's not without a chance. The guy opposite is very fast, very fast. But his body is very fragile, as long as he hits a blow with all his strength. Is his chance to come back. When the scene fell into a stalemate, two figures came quickly from the distant sky. Lu Jun and Chen Ling both noticed this situation immediately. Chen Ling frowned. He knew that the person who came was definitely not from his side. This is a bit difficult to handle. But it doesn't matter, his speed is already invincible. Lu Jun was a little excited when he saw who was coming. One of them was Su Yong, whom he recognized. Flying in the air, wouldn't that mean entering the Grand Master realm? A few days ago, he also knew that Su Yong said that he wanted to comprehend the sword intent at a critical moment. Could it be to break through the Grand Master? Good guy. Such a young master. If he remembers correctly, Su Yong is only 19, right? No, this is not the key is that Su Yong will be saved if he comes. If you can't win a fight, you can leave even if there are two people present. And there is another person besides Su Yong. It seems that he is also a master. Could it be Su Yang's master? Lu Jun looked at Ji Yushu's appearance and made some guesses. The three masters gather. The advantage is mine. Lu Jun's expression finally came out of the haze, and he looked at Chen Ling with a smile. It seems to be saying, boy, you wait, my people are coming, you are finished. Thank you for watching. Continue exploring the fascinating world of Chinese novels with us. Hit that subscribe button on Chinese Novel Audiobook to stay updated with our latest stories, and never miss out on a great listen.